Hello, and welcome to Curriculum of Wonder, our Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition actual play show set in Strixhaven University, a magical university all its own. I'm Marco, I run these games. I'm looking forward to this episode where we'll be wrapping up year two, moving into the summer afterwards. There are finals coming up and all kinds of other interesting stuff. Yeah.
My name is Sarah, and I'm so excited to be back. I have the pleasure of playing Vega, the Lucent daughter of Dawn's Cathedral, who is currently a level 5 human paladin who recently took her oath of vengeance. And I can't wait to see what we get up to. Probably bone related.
I'm Andy, playing your resident flunky warlock.
I'm Francis. I'm playing Fergal, human ranger of Spooky Witherbloom. Yeah.
I'm Sam. I'm your Owlin Druid, Stella.
And I'm Andrea. I am playing Helianthus, the level 5 halfling druid.
All right. So last episode, crazy things happened. Absolutely mind-blowing. The party was in the middle of Witherbloom campus taking a class when, no spoilers, but some really bad stuff happened and lots of fights broke out. And if you haven't seen that and you're curious, by all means go watch it. But essentially, there's a lot to process thereafter. I don't think the party got time. So we'll resume play right there, maybe the day after all those events. You've had a good night's rest, you've had some time to process, but likely many questions on your minds. We'll say you're all in your dorm room. Siri is conspicuously missing. You would find a note in the morning, which reads like so. It says, "So that was a lot. I know you all probably have questions. I do too. Working on getting some answers. We'll be back soon. Don't touch the death nettle. It's been extra grumpy lately." From Siri.
Well, that's convenient.
She was acting a little strangely.
I do have questions about that voice she heard, but I'm inclined to trust. I trust Siri, but I'm curious to find out what was going on.
Excited to meet a new friend when we get to know who the spooky voice was.
Do we know it's a friend?
Siri, you trust them enough to run headlong into danger.
I suppose the voice could be considered a friend. I certainly hope as much.
Who else could we ask? If not the spooky voice, it was wild.
I don't know if we can find out anything about the spooky voice, but we may find out something about who this necromancer in the bog was.
She said she was a god, but that's not true, right? Like,
Oh, preposterous.
Yeah, gods
Oh.
are beautiful, and she was kind of scary.
They're not real.
It's about at that time that a familiar face walks into your dorm room.
That's me?
Yeah.
I heard you have all gotten into things. You killed a lady?
we fought a god.
Well, she claimed she was a god, but she went down way too easy to actually be one. But
You killed a god?
Okay, I just want to say, if we're gonna have professors hating us, I can at least say I killed a god.
I'm fine with that rumor.
That's one of the better rumors to be about you. I've heard some bad ones.
People are
was
saying bad
delusional.
things about me?
Not you, just everybody else.
Oh, well, that's fine. Okay.
Hey, Sammy, how did you get back? Where did you go? Are you okay?
Oh, right.
So, I learned stuff. I talked to a big old lady. She also kills gods, I think.
Oh,
How big and what did she look like? Was she wearing a bunch of bone amulets, or was she running around screaming, "I'm Lacrinor, whatever, and I am a god"?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure she was much larger.
Okay,
Much
well
larger.
that's
She has bones in her, I think. I hope. Something that big
People
should have
do.
bones in it. People? Not the word. Person's not the thing she was.
Oh,
An
What?
entity, perhaps. How did you? Did this happen when you disappeared, or?
Yeah, you know how I fell down that hole in the middle of the sky? I got back out.
In the middle of the sky?
Were you there with us that day when I was climbing up those arches and then
I was. I was more asking if you came back in the middle of the sky.
no, but a similar hole in the middle of somewhere else.
Great.
did you get
Please.
loot?
If the loot was the knowledge I made along the way,
You think
got
you're
loot.
still in Arcavios?
are you asking me or confirming to me?
I'm asking. I have no idea.
Oh, I was still in a. She stops at that. She says, "We were both from Arcavios. Can't tell you where it was. Not under like some kind of oath or anything. I just don't know. It was dark and sandy.
Not so dissimilar from the ruins we went to?
Extremely dissimilar.
I mean, we might be able to. I mean, we could go to the Biblioplex and do some research and look into that. You know, we could probably also look into whoever Lacrinor is.
Is
At
that
the
the name of the
oh.
god you killed?
Yes.
It was just a lady. I think
And
we
it's
should.
hard to miss it.
I think we should ask around Witherbloom about Lacrinor because she did have pests, and pests are pretty iconic Witherbloom beasties.
We're gonna do research. We should talk to your friend Rampart. He likes books, right?
They love books.
Yes, they love books, and we could use extra help doing research. Maybe.
They're more into like ancient history, and I think this would have been history from like the last few years. But I could ask them.
They just might know where to look.
You don't think? I mean, I do think going and speaking to the folks in Witherbloom is a good idea. You don't think she used to be a student?
I do think she used to be a student. How else would
Well,
she
ma-
know how to summon pests, and why else would she have feelings about Strixhaven?
Oh,
What happens to people when they drop out? They like get really mad at school.
Or maybe they were kicked out. Do we have access to anyone that would know who's been kicked out recently?
I imagine that like student records are not public info. That's probably a little bit confidential, right?
Well, y'all
I mean, we
broke
could-
into something. I don't know.
Oh, we can go back. Yeah.
I bet there are rumors about people who got kicked out.
Why don't we head on to Witherbloom first, and maybe we'll bump into Siri or spy on what she's doing.
So you guys want to head to Witherbloom? Alrighty. As you are familiar with at this point, Witherbloom campus is a huge tangled mess of swamps, massive trees covered in moss. It's dark, lit by fireflies, bioluminescence. Even during the day, the sunlight barely filters in through the canopy overhead. There are plenty of students around in the main thoroughfares, and you don't have any trouble finding your way because you've been here plenty of times, far more than any second-year student probably has a right to, honestly. But in any case, where do you want to head in Witherbloom? There's a couple of halls you could go to. In fact, let's just move us to the campus map so we can see the main landmarks. Boom. I guess those names are hidden. Let me reveal them. Okay.
Ooh.
I guess Witterson's Hall is kind of the main administrative building on Witherbloom campus, so we'll aim you guys over there.
I love this map.
Yeah, the art for this book is beautiful.
Super cool.
They named that counterclockwise hall?
Mm-hmm.
Did what?
We do things a little bit backwards.
I guess as opposed to anti-Wittershins? I mean, why would you... Never mind. Let's just keep going.
It's like
I
there's
wanna
like
look
the
at detention
swirl
bond.
there in the corner. I don't know.
So Witterson's Hall looks very much like this handout, actually. You see like these kind of brightly lit spaces inside of the trunks of trees that have been grown to accommodate classrooms, offices, that sort of thing. The administrator here is a dryad woman. She has a pair of spectacles on her woody nose. She asks, how can I be of assistance, students?
Oh, yes. I was wanting to ask about someone who may have been a former Witherbloom student. Her name was Lacrimore.
Lacrimore. Do
I
you
think
have
the
any
last
other
name was-
information?
Last name was Fernglaive, I believe.
Oh, yes, Fernglade.
Oh, Fernglade. That should narrow it down quite substantially, yes. I'll be right back. And she gets up and heads to a back room where you can hear her leafing through parchments.
Leafing.
She comes back and says, yes, what was your interest in Ms. Fernglade?
Oh, she committed a terrorist attack upon the campus yesterday.
I see.
And has been expired.
Oh, that too.
I'm aware of what occurred yesterday. Do you have information regarding her, or are you just curious?
We have the information that she did it, and she had necromancy and pests, and she's dead now, and she thought she was a god.
Well, the information that's publicly available is that 20 years ago, 3 Witherbloom students went missing in the Sedgemoor. They were Lacrinor Fernglade, Gurnak Bronzebeard, and Jeskel Herrix. Only Gurnak's body was found. Neither of the other 2 were recoverable in any way. We found no trace of them, and so they were written off, and restrictions were put in place to ensure that Sedgemoor would be safer in future years.
What was the third one's name?
Jeskel Herrix.
And only Gunak's body was found?
Yes, the young dwarf was unfortunately all but completely consumed by the time his body was recovered.
Sedgemoor for you.
Do you think maybe Jeskel was the he that kept getting mentioned in the swamp?
I think it's quite likely.
So he's probably still out there.
It's a long time to be just hanging out in the bog, holding a grudge.
Wouldn't somebody have found them in 20 years? Like, the bog's not infinite, is it?
The expanse of Sedgemoor is quite large. No one person has ever truly mapped the entire thing. There's speculation that it magically expands, though it's never been proven.
Is there like magic in the Sedgemoor that could grant like deity-like powers to individuals if they like fell into the wrong mud?
She does this,
Deity.
and she says, my dear, deities do not truly exist native to Arcavios. Only the deities that come with you have any power here.
So they could come here.
If they had a devotee that brought them, and even then their power would be limited to what their devotee could affect. Deities are not able to directly impact Arcavios.
Did you guys see what I saw? Like a really big friend that Lacrimore had? Like really big? Like in the mists?
Just a faint movement, but huge.
Do you think that's like god size or like should they be bigger?
I was hoping that was just my eyes playing tricks on me. It's really big.
Probably just some kind of demon.
Yes, I mean, there was definitely a fiendish presence sort of permeating through the entirety of the Sedgemoor. At least it felt like it was coming from everywhere, but we didn't really find the source of it. So I don't know. It kind of feels like maybe there's still something out there, or something big was generating it.
Oh, it's still out there. Oh.
There are big things out in the Sedgemoor. Carrots and tree folk and all manner of creatures. Some undead, some fiendish, some living.
So they can kaiju it out, right? We don't have to worry about it.
My dear students, your natural curiosity here, your desire to help are very much appreciated, and you are, of course, welcome to conduct as much research as you like. I must advise you not to undertake any undue danger. The staff of Strixhaven is responsible for investigating this matter to its conclusion, and you don't need to take any further action, though your actions hitherto have been greatly appreciated.
You know what? Who is normally responsible for these kinds of investigations?
In this case, it will fall to a commission of professors and other faculty members to be determined. The attacks happened yesterday.
Good to know. We might need to pester them to help them out, because, I don't know, they all kind of ran when the chips were down. We were the only ones who showed up and did anything.
No one's asked us for a statement yet. You'd think, like, they would want to know what
is this
happened out there.
commission doing?
Oh, that totally happened during the wrap-up yesterday.
Oh, okay, great. Never mind what I just said then. I forgot. It's been a long night and day. A lot has happened.
A lot
It's
Some
all
of
a
us
blur.
You know,
Died.
some of us, we almost died. Like, that's fair.
Some of my wounds are still seeping. It's fine.
Should maybe bandage those.
No, it's fine. This one will be a really cool scar if I don't mess with it too much.
So you let it, like, fester on purpose?
Not like fester, but I just don't. It's fine. I could heal it. I could, but I'm not going to, because this one will look really cool.
It looks sick.
Thank you.
What is the scar that's going across Vega's like person?
She's definitely got some like thorny kind of a part of her arm. I think would look a little bit ripped open from some thorny vine creature that kind of slashed at her, because she took a lot of punishment. I mean, the whole group took a lot of punishment in the Sedgemoor the night before this, so she's thinking it'll have like a cool ragged edge.
That's your first scar that's not from some kind of skeleton?
You know what? It's the first one that's not from some sort of bone bag or bone guy or bone flying monster. Yes, actually, yes. Yeah.
Let me know if you ever lose that arm, because I know a guy who makes arms, and I think he could make blades out of that one.
I
an
love the
armful of
sound of
blades.
that.
Wait, didn't one of your scars come from a ghost? That's not a skeleton.
Right, but they used to have bones and they kind of flow around, and this one was
But they're like
the ghost of a skeleton.
But like a ghost is like the antithesis of skeletons.
It was like spectral bones.
You got mega stabbed by one of those giant mage slayer bugs too, right?
Yeah, that was pretty
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Bone semantics. The Dryad purses her lips with all this discussion of, the marvels of flesh and how that works. Clearly having no understanding of how, meat functions. Anyway, the point is, will that be all, students? I do have other business to attend to. I wish you well, and if you do require any assistance, either in physical healing, mental or emotional healing, please do check in with the faculty. We can help you in any way you require.
Just a general curiosity. If someone is hearing spooky voices in their head, should we be concerned and like tell the faculty, or is that fine?
Well, in a general sense, voices in one's head aren't necessarily bad. Many races have ancestral spirits that accompany them. Many folk have acquired the same thing, or friends. But I think that in the typical case, yes, voices in one's head should be treated with some caution and care.
Cool, great, thanks. That's all.
And if we want to look more into Yeskel, where should we do that?
I'm afraid I don't have any student files available here. You'd have to inquire with administration at the central campus, and I don't know what the requirements are for dispensation of such information. You'll have to ask them.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so you guys can depart from the administrative section of Weirshins Hall. Of course, it's close to lunchtime, and who could resist the draw of Guillaume's cuisine? So you can treat yourselves to a nice, wonderful lunch over at... Guillaume runs the cafeteria here, actually. And in case we forgot Guillaume or aren't familiar with him, here is a picture of the fantastical troll fellow who will create for you a marvelous lunch fit for warriors of the Sedgemoor, he calls you. Saviors of the Sedgemoor.
And Sammy.
And Sammy.
Well, apparently, if you just hang out with us, you get all the rumors, even if you weren't involved.
At least something's being said.
Yomi, what's the special for today?
Oh, well, you see, I'm afraid vegetables aren't very popular at the moment. Something about plants coming to life and hurting people. So it's mostly meat, lots of fish, some frog. Got some good frog legs. Jumbo-sized. Huge, mind you. Fresh off a giant toad we caught the other day.
Ooh, sounds great.
Bet you've never had a bite of frog legs you couldn't chew in one, huh? This is like a turkey leg. You rip into it with your teeth. Arr.
I have a large gullet. I'm gonna try. Not chew.
Yeah, I'll hand you over this massive frog leg. It's like stained with like soy sauce, maybe. It's like a aminos thing going on with it. Very dark, kind of tangy and salty.
What do I roll to not choke?
Constitution.
Oh man. Oh no, I closed the window because I'm a fool. Chug, 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 chug. 14.
14 is good enough, though it's definitely a trial. You're able to, I guess, take an overly large bite of this frog leg and manage to get it down, though it does stick for a while, and people who are watching get very tense. Someone's like, should we do the Heimlich? No, she's got it. Don't worry, it's fine.
Stella is sweating a little bit, and after a little bit of effort, or a lot of bit of effort, like gets the entire frog leg down in one go. Oh, I'm gonna feel that pellet later. Oh. So yummy though, so yummy. Thanks, Guillaume.
Anytime, though maybe you could take smaller bites next time, friend. That looked awkward.
Just picturing, like, you know, like the snake that has like the whole, just a large lump.
Sideways.
I mean, I think owls actually do that, but they have like a much more jerky approach. They kind of like shake their head a lot to get the thing to go down. It's like a whole thing, you know. Anyway, lunch in Widdershins is as wonderful as it always is. Guillaume is friendly, asks you about your trials and tribulations. He doesn't actually offer any information. He'll tell you that he can't share that info with you. Unfortunately, he's part of the staff. Anything he knows has to be confidential. He's not the person to tell you.
Fair enough.
Not related, but just how often do people go missing for long periods of time?
Decades, maybe.
In the Sedgemoor.
Oh, it's
Like, does that happen often?
very rare, very rare. Almost never happens. Well, only once or twice a year, and they're usually found pretty quickly.
What happens when they're not found and maybe two people disappeared at the same time?
Not
Maybe
found.
3.
Well, we've implemented some very sophisticated magical tracking in the Sedgemoor. They might not have told you, but the second you enter the Sedgemoor, you're being magically tracked by Strixhaven administration.
Oh.
This is a measure that was implemented after an unfortunate incident where a few students got lost and were not found.
Tell me more about that. That sounds terrible.
The incident or the precautions?
Oh, the incident.
Oh,
It
yes.
sounds terrible.
It's not good to talk about. You understand, it causes lots of fear on campus. And the Sedgemoor is only as unsafe as it ought to be. It's perfectly safe if you take all the proper precautions, you know. But no, 3 students did in fact go missing a very long time ago, and one's body was found. The other 2 were not. So they were classified as deceased. The families were notified, and additional restrictions were put in place. They were good students too. They were very good students.
I'll pat him on the back. There. Do you know what happened with the Traken? Or was the Traken magic was instituted after because of that?
Yes, it was a response to the loss of those 3 students.
Can we opt out of tracking? Is there somewhere we can sign a waiver and say no?
I'm afraid that entering the Sedgemoor is treated as consent for tracking. It's a safety measure, you understand.
I don't like it.
But could someone, I mean, would it be possible for, I mean, we would never, but it seems kind of like someone or something was able to avoid being tracked. I mean, how else could what have happened the other day happened?
I don't know. Perhaps they weren't students. All students that enter the Sedgemoor are tracked.
What about staff?
No staff aren't. We trust Strixhaven staff to be able to handle themselves in the Sedgemoor.
What about former students?
I suppose the enchantments only trigger on students in active attendance at Strixhaven. Name on the list and all that.
Is it possible to live in the Sedgemoor?
Oh yes, I've done it myself for a great many years at a time. I very much enjoyed that after graduating, but before I found a long-term job.
But like without being found by students or staff also in the Sedgemoor.
Well, it depends if they're looking for you, but I had no trouble at all staying relatively hidden for a few years. They caught me eventually, but I offered to work off my misdemeanor. They thought it was some sort of a minor crime to live off the Sedgemoor. Now, I think that natural bounty is free for the taking. Nobody missed any of that. The groffs that I ended up having to fight, or the frogs I consumed. Nobody missed any of that, but they thought it was some sort of crime.
It all grows back.
Just so. The Sedgemoor itself is a bounty of life and vital energy. Certainly could not be depleted by any one troll just seeking to live a calm, peaceful existence.
Well, I'm glad you did find your call, and I appreciate it.
Me too, Fergal. Me too.
Although, if one of these days you want to go camping in the Sedgemoor, I would totally go camping with you.
He grins wide and says, "That sounds lovely, my dear. I would like nothing better."
Maybe after the semester's over.
Oh, that's an idea.
I'll start picking out provisions right away.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, let's just go live somewhere that's actively trying to kill people. I'm sure that's fine.
You just gotta
It'll
get
be
to
a
know
learning.
it.
Yeah, it'll be a learning experience. You can take notes.
It would be good study material.
Or what? I'm not in this class.
You might be eventually. We have 2 more years.
I really don't see that happening, but
You like flowers. There's many flowers in the Sedgemoor.
Oh, and there's a plant called Mantrap. It's amazing.
And Gilby gonna cook for us every day. That's gonna be the best.
right. Well, that just sounds wonderful.
So lunch will conclude with you guys having planned a camping trip with Guillaume for the summer, maybe the first week. So if you have anything else you want to do over the summer, you'll also have the opportunity to do that stuff. Is there anything else you want to do as far as looking into this this informational stuff? Because you do have some classes coming up, which bear some preparations, perhaps. But
Those are coming.
classes are coming.
So we probably won't find any information about Lacrimore, like just in the library, because she's just a private citizen kind of thing.
I think so.
So, more in Helianthus's lane. There is an upcoming meeting of one of your classes, Pyromancy and the Arts, where you are not just allowed, you are encouraged to bring friends so they can experience what the Prismari art process is like. You're encouraged to bring as many people as you possibly can. There is enough art supplies for everyone. Insofar as people will be bringing their own art supplies, it's complicated, it's simple, don't worry about it.
Right. Helianthus would, bring it up maybe at dinner once, just be like, I know you guys are more into like dead bodies and danger and stuff like that, but there's this really cool class thing coming up, and there might be some fire, so there might be some danger. If you wanna, I don't know, try some art instead of death for a day.
Is your art gonna be there?
Well, it's my class, yeah.
I have been wanting to explore my inner pyromancer and see, like, get to know what the red side of things is like. I'm off in the black and green so much.
I don't really know what that means, but I mean, yeah, that sounds great.
I think my Quandrix classes is at the exact same time, but like it's super boring, so I'm just skipping good ears.
I would really advise against skipping classes. That's really bad.
No, but I'm like trading it, Like,
but what if
that's the A class?
But you have like finals coming up, like you.
Demi's
That's a
cheering
problem.
in the background.
How are any of you passing?
Didn't.
Helianthus just makes that face, like, yeah, you're exactly proving my point right now.
You've sold us. Your class sounds better. Thanks.
Great. Well, I look forward to you enjoying the class and hope it does not have negative repercussions for your own academic studies. Do you at least promise you'll borrow someone's notes?
I should borrow your notes.
I'm not taking that class.
That is a problem for later, Stella.
It's a
Right.
quandrixary. A quandrix.
Yeah.
I don't.
Quandrix Quandry.
Have you
Oh,
had
that
better
sounds like
jokes
fun.
than that?
All right. Well, the day of this open class session, open art forum, we'll call it, is after the weekend. So you guys have some days in between to like go about your business and get your stuff together. Also, if your characters do have any lasting harm from the events they went through, you have plenty of time to seek help in any fashion or form. But yeah, we'll skip forward to kind of the we'll call it the Monday. I don't think that's what the days of the week are called here, but we'll call it a Monday. Off to Prismari campus. Those of you who want to participate in this open art forum will head. Here is Prismari campus.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're seeing all the maps today. And I'm going to reveal those labels real quick. Prismari campus, for all of its glory and kind of untamed creation, has very few named locations on campus. Really, wherever you go on Prismari campus, there are things to look at, all sorts of sights to see. As you enter kind of along this main bridge here, off of the tram, I guess, ahead of you is a massive kind of spire made of this blue crystalline structure material with these fiery kind of flares going all up around it in spirals, the top of which is actively on fire. You can see flames kind of streaking up towards the sky. To your right, you see what is known as Opus Walk, which is this huge lane that kind of separates into smaller lanes, where past Prismari students' creations all kind of stand. You see sculptures, you see moving kind of tapestries of fire and ice. You see like structures of ice with things inside. It's kind of anything you can imagine over there. And then you are aware, perhaps, beyond Conjurat Hall, which is that central spire, is the Fury Gale. which is a location that you are not supposed to go to unless you are fully prepared. It's kind of like Prismari's Sedgemoor, insofar as that's where all the failed creations and unstable, volatile elementals that have been summoned over the years are quarantined away from like the proper campus. It is still a place of incredible inspiration, creativity, energy, and majesty. It's just not safe. So you do have to like pass some kind of like a basic exam, both knowledge and practical, to go into the Fury Gale.
We're not going there today. We're just
I-
going
I'm
to
sh-
class.
Are you sure? I'm sure they would waive the test for us.
No, we're gonna go to class.
Okay, but then afterwards, maybe we go into the Fury Gale?
No.
They probably have magic tracking and stuff, just like they have in the Sedgemoor. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, we're not going to, no, that it's very dangerous. Things explode there all the time, and like it's not good. Like fire, it's dangerous. It's danger. I'm not cleared to go there yet, so we are not going there.
I thought we were going to a class in which we get fire and explosions.
That's controlled. It's supposed to explode. Those ones aren't supposed to explode like that.
See, someone should really do something about that, and we could be that someone.
No, class is this way. We're just. I'm just gonna start like nudging people down the road.
For sure. Here's Conjurat Hall in full
Whoa.
majesty.
Ooh.
Not pictured as the top of the main spire where it is actively on fire, but you can kind of see the architecture there.
Cool.
Yeah, and you all will be arriving here. You kind of ascend through some central stairways. The halls of Prismari spires are ablaze with interesting things. The walls are covered in artworks. Each classroom has, fiery explosions or music or choreographed art going on at all times. It is a wondrous place to be. It's kind of hard to keep yourselves going towards the place you're supposed to go because there's so much here to take in and experience. Thankfully, Helianthus is on task and will manage to guide you all, maybe shepherding you a little bit
And
as
we
required.
left early.
Right.
How many of the pointy stuff on like the sculpture on the structures are actually like pokeable?
I mean, all of it's pokeable. Not all of it is safely pokeable. And not everything is made of this kind of interesting elemental substance. You see plenty of metal works, things carved out of stone. Like, all art forms are present here. It's not just the elemental ice, crystals, and fire swoops. But there's plenty of that as well. I mean, it's not an ADHD nightmare so much as an ADHD paradise. It's like, just indulge yourself here. But yeah, I'm sure they also have, tools for focusing when they need to. Prismari is a place of duality, as are the rest of the campuses. So anyway, this course is taught by a favorite on campus, one of the professors in Prismari who is well adored by all of her students. Her name is Veyron. Here she is. She is an Ifrit, an elemental being, not from the material plane normally, though in Arcavios that may or may not be true. And she is constantly afire, literally on fire. Both like literally and figuratively. She's also aflame with a desire to teach and foster learning. On this particular day, Veyron, as you guys walk in, you'll see a huge number of students here, maybe 50 or 60 students, all told, standing in this large open classroom. There are kind of workstations set up throughout the room. They have like small kind of partitions that kind of break them up from each other, provide barriers, maybe to prevent any sort of overflow of flames or other magical energies. But the point is tons of people here from many different colleges. Of course, there are more Prismari students than other colleges, and you will see also a prevalence of Quandrix and Lorehold students as well. Few Silverquill and Witherbloom, though there are, of course, some, including yourselves. Class will begin. Veyron will kind of whistle and say, Welcome to Pyromancy and the Arts. I am Veyron, Voice of Duality, a professor of Prismari here on campus, and I will be guiding you through today's art course. How many of you have worked with Mesomorph stones before?
Elias the champion.
Well, that was last year.
Oh,
We didn't go this year.
oh dang.
Were we not invited?
I think we were just busy.
Aw, that was so fun though. Next year we're gonna do it for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
for those who haven't dealt with Mesomorph stones, they are objects of pure elemental energy that can be caused to change their form to match whatever you, the holder, envision. You can kind of impress upon them your mental image if you're able to hold it long enough. And they are a great asset to artists, many other craftsmen. Here is a Mesomorph stone. She'll produce an actual Mesomorph stone for you all to see.
Are these like the good ones, like
These
the
are the
one
good
the
ones.
professor gave me?
These are different from the ones you've seen before, insofar as they're very much like that like straight crystalline shape. They also have very active elemental energy swirling around them and inside of them. The ones that you kind of dealt with before were kind of duller, not nearly as transparent, and the energies were kind of more wisps than full-on flares.
Well, the professor gave me like a real one.
Oh well, then yeah,
Afterwards.
you've experienced the real one for sure.
When
yeah,
you
this is-
say
Mhm.
when you say she produces it, do you mean she like just pulls it out from like behind her back, or she just actually makes it?
Unclear. She opens her palm and one appears.
Okay.
She's just cool like that.
And hot.
That's yeah, for sure. So she will. Everybody can come up and grab a Mesomorph stone, and when you're ready to get started, just stand at your workstation with your partners, and I will guide you through the creation process.
Vega, blushing furiously, yeets herself out of the conversation to go grab a Mesomorph stone, realizing what she said out loud.
Yes, you can all grab your Mesomorph stones. They are cool to the touch. They're not like dangerous to hold. It feels like maybe they should be with the fire swirling around them. But yeah, you can as you hold it, you will notice it kind of begin to change shape a little bit, just from your like passive thoughts. And if you try a little bit, you can kind of get change shape. If you visualize something particular, it will start to change into that thing, though it becomes erratic quickly if your thoughts wander. Once the whole class has Mesomorph stones, Veyron will address the class and say, "Now, take your Mesomorph stone, hold it in front of you, close your eyes, and visualize that object you would like to create with your magic, your art, what it is that you see and want to bring into this world in reality today."
Question: are they only able to be like static things, or can they move?
Veyron smiles and says, "The Mesomorph stones are very magical. Much power resides in them. They can understand your intentions. And often if you visualize something that moves, they will move in that form."
Can they produce sound?
It would require a very, very skilled Mesomorph shaper to create a Mesomorph form that could produce accurate sounds to its origin. Creatures formed from Mesomorph typically bear the form and the form only. I'm sure it's not impossible.
Stella's not doing anything with her Mesomorph. She's just staring at the champion, seeing what she will do, expecting great things.
Okay. Well, if you would like to morph your Mesomorph, you can roll an insight or a history check to visualize a form, something in your mind. If you have previously worked with Mesomorphs and succeeded largely, you can have advantage on this check.
Yes, to all of those things.
Oh, and the music's supposed to change. Because we're doing Prismari things.
That's fun.
All right, how are we doing on these checks?
Yeah.
Bad.
Okay.
I got a 25.
Whoa.
Nice. So we'll start with the previous champion. You are able to instill in your Mesomorph Stone an almost perfect representation of what you're visualizing. What does it look like?
Okay, so today I'm trying to focus on like movement with the Mesomorphs because that's not something that I've really done before. So I'm picturing a little seed that kind of goes through the life stage of a giant sunflower, like a 6-foot tall sunflower, and then the petal falls off and kind of falls to the ground as the plant dies, and that petal becomes a seed and it just kind of cycles through very like elegantly. Yes.
Nice. And of course, the magic of the Mesomorph Stone does cause all those things to happen. It can't break apart and reform easily. So what you'll see is like that petal falls off and it's joined to the main stalk by like a thin little
tendril. Yeah.
Exactly, and that'll kind of fall with it, tracking it to the ground, and it'll rejoin with the rest of it. But yeah, that's beautiful. Stella also did pretty well. Your Mesomorph Stone also looks exactly like what you envision. What does it look like?
So Stella was just trying to copy Helianthus the whole time because she figures Helianthus knows what she's doing. So trying to copy her like hand movements, facial expressions, and she generates a bag of sunflower seeds. It looks so yummy, but too bad you can't eat it.
I see.
All right. I think Vega also did perhaps surprisingly well, perhaps not. What does Vega's Mesomorph Stone look like at this point?
Vega was thinking about sound and how she could get this to produce sound, because in her heart, a thing she loves so much is music, even though she's pretty uncomfortable talking about it most of the time. So the structure she produces doesn't move at all, but instead it's this kind of very tall, very slender tiered structure. And at kind of each different ladder of it, there's a whistle. So kind of think when you're in ceramics class as a kid, you can make the whistle just by kind of structuring, like you can make a whistle that you can blow on. And it's structured such that when the wind blows through the piece, the whistles intonate different sounds. And so it's like this really nice harmony of about 5 different notes that come together.
Nice. Like a custom-built, centralized harmonica.
Yes. She keeps thinking
Sweet.
about the harmonica.
Beautiful. Awesome. Sammy perhaps struggles a little bit here. And so your Mesomorph takes on a very vague approximation of what you were going for. What does that look like?
So, Sammy was still thinking about the interaction that she had not that long ago, and so she tries making like this really spiky-looking quadruped creature. There's supposed to be like these scrolls hanging off of her, but instead they just kind of look like tentacles, and it's just a very bad Play-Doh formation of like when you tell a kid, "Hey, make a dragon with a bunch of scrolls on it."
Nice. And Fergal had advantage, right?
Yeah, because we've
Nice.
done this before.
So you do an excellent job as well. Yours probably isn't quite lifelike, but it's very close. What does that look like?
So when we did the tournament before, we were making animals. So that's what Fergal's doing. He's making a snake that has like the swirls of the fire and ice swirling around its body, and it kind of swims through the air. That's the idea.
Nice. Yeah. And you get a very lifelike looking snake. Maybe some of the details aren't quite there. Like you don't see scales, you don't see eyes, but its body does move sinuously in place through the air.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looks quite real. Veyron kind of comes around. She will praise. Helianthus. That's not a shape I've seen made out of Mesomorphs. That's very imaginative, Helianthus. Well done.
Thanks.
And comes over to Stella. That's are those seeds?
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to taste one. What's it taste like?
It doesn't come free of the Mesomorph body. Like you can pull it, but it'll kind of just like pull back to the main body.
I will bring my tongue to it then.
Veyron kind of looks to object and then stops herself. As you lick the Mesomorph stone, it tastes both salty and spicy at the same time. And also this strange like minerally taste that you don't quite recognize, like metallic almost.
That's a great sunflower seed flavor.
I'd never thought to try Mesomorph stones. That's new, innovative,
Is it
truly
bad for me?
creative. I don't know. I don't
Oh.
know.
Okay.
Let me know how you feel in a few minutes.
If only Siri were here.
Fergal, your snake elicits a gasp, and she says, "That's a marvelous snake, truly beautiful. Very few second years are able to produce such a snake, especially not and I mean no disrespect, but Witherbloom students don't often have such luck."
We do have a lot of snakes, though.
That's true. You're right. Perhaps that experience that would make sense. Well, I'm glad to have students from other colleges here today. It's a wonder to see all the things everybody can bring to art together. And she'll go to Sammy and say, what is this, what is the intent behind this Mesomorph form?
That makes her feel even worse, and she just kind of looks at it. Her like little Play-Doh rock sculpture. She's like, "It was supposed to be Lorehold."
Velomachus?
Yeah. She sounds dejected.
Well, if it makes you feel better, that's a very ambitious form, especially if you've only ever seen artwork. That's very impressive that you got this far. Perhaps I can help a little bit, if you wouldn't mind.
She just looks even more upset as she hands Veyron the Mesomorph.
Veyron takes the Mesomorph, and you'll see her kind of turn it in her hand. As she does, the Mesomorph kind of sharpens, and like it's as if the resolution increases on your Play-Doh dragon, and looks very much like a dragon. You know from first-hand experience, perhaps, that this doesn't look exactly right. The horn. She has two horns in this depiction, whereas she has one kind of central horn in real life. You'll know that some of the scrolls are misplaced, and they are far longer in life than Veyron has chosen to make them here. But other than that, it's a very faithful representation of a huge red dragon, whose scales are long and sharp. Her wings stretch far beyond her body, and scrolls bearing undoubtedly ancient script kind of drape over her shoulders and from the tip of her wings.
Is there resolution enough, like, on the scrolls to see small, tiny scribbles? Maybe not legible scribbles, just tiny scribbles.
Veyron didn't choose to add that. She kind of just
Okay.
made representations of runes and
Okay.
glyphs. And she'll smile and hand you back your Mesomorph stone. When she gets to Vega, I'm sorry, one more time. What was your Mesomorph stone form?
It had no movement, but it was
Oh,
a large
right.
structure of a series of whistles that make a harmonious sound when the wind blows.
Nice, that makes sense. Veyron will say that is innovative and wonderful. I've very rarely seen someone make a musical instrument out of Mesomorph stones, but of course that makes perfect sense. New instruments and types of sounds and music could be created using Mesomorphs as a guide. Are you're in Silverquill, judging by your garb?
Yes, I am, and thank you.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for bringing us your unique view.
No, thank you, and thank Heliantha. She's the one who dragged us here and made sure we didn't fall into the fire pit or the ice storm or whatever it's called. It's you know what we did so good here today. Do you think you could waive us having to take the class that would allow us access to the fire gale? What? This.
You mean
Yes.
the Fury Gale?
Yes, I would like to be given access to it without having to take the class.
She smiles and says, see me after class. We can discuss that, I suppose.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh.
Vega gives Helianthus a thumbs up.
Just wanted one nice day without almost dying.
Don't
Just
you want to,
one.
don't you want to explore all the nooks and crannies of your college?
When I'm allowed to.
That's why we're asking.
I
so
mean, this was fun though. I'm glad you dragged us along. I mean, didn't take too. I mean, you had to drag us past the scary, spooky thing, but this was fun.
So, class, now that you have your Mizimorphs formed, the next step is to produce magical energy to create your art. If you are not capable of producing elemental magic by yourself, there are wands available to assist you. The core will be producing enough fire and or ice or whatever other elements you desire, and then encapsulating that in a webbing of magical force. I'll walk each of you through it if you require assistance, and perhaps the Prismari among us who have done this before can help those of us who are inexperienced.
Have I done this before?
You have, yes.
Great.
You aren't a master of it per se, but you know the technique, you know the basics. So yeah, if you don't have the ability to cast like elemental spells, there are wands available that can cast any single kind of elemental magic spell. It doesn't have to be any particular spell, just anything that does damage of that type or creates an effect from the element. Using that, you can roll an Arcana, Insight, or Performance check to produce this magical energy. I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. Sleight of hand, History, Nature, or Perception to produce the magical energy.
Say the list again. I got confused.
Sleight of hand, History, Nature, or Perception. It's a long list.
Nature. Oh yes.
Those are all +3. Great.
Is radiant an element?
No.
Damn it.
Is lightning an element?
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh no.
Just the skill bonus, right?
Yeah.
Would Thundering Smite count for thunder?
Sure.
Great. That's gonna scare everybody.
I think I'm gonna scare everybody too, but we'll wait till
All
we
right.
get there.
Okay, cool. So we've got some results in chat. Let's go in the same order we did last time with Helianthus first. How did you do?
I got a 16.
Nice. So with that, you'll produce a fair amount of magical energy. Not quite enough to be called impressive per se, but you've got a decent amount. We will record that here.
I'm not trying to be impressive, because, you don't need to be all the time.
For sure. Stella, looks like you might have had some trouble there.
I rolled a nat 1,
Oh.
but that's an 8.
Right. So you are producing a quantity of magical energy, but you're just having trouble focusing. Helianthus makes it look easy, even though she's not trying particularly hard. And so you don't have a lot to mimic, I guess. So you produce kind of a small quantity of magical energy. Whatever you create will be relatively small. Sammy, with an 18, looks like you're able to produce a sizable quantity, decently sized, about average if you look around the room and compare. Vega makes a large amount. This harmonica of yours, this radial harmonica, begins to take shape. You can see its body kind of begin to appear out of these thunderous waves. All right, cool, awesome. Just imagine thunderous energy in a harmonica shape. And Fergal, what sort of element did you imbue your snake with?
It's going to be fire.
All right.
Here's
Nice.
the thing. I can cast fire magic, but I need a little help. So, I use one of the wands, and I shoot myself with it. I cast Absorb Elements, and then, using a melee attack, I can impart the fire onto the object. And I'm happy to take half damage.
They say that art requires suffering, and you should
Right.
certainly bring that to life in this classroom. Many of the other students look on with a mix of horror and awe as you do this ritual where you wreathe yourself in flames and then project it onto your Mizimorph, and you produce this huge quantity of fires beginning to take shape in the air around your Mizimorph. The last check is to kind of contain your magical energy in a sheath that will give it form, keep it stable, and ensure that it's able to keep itself around for more than a couple seconds. This will be an Arcana, Insight, or Performance check.
I got a 25.
All
I'm
right.
using a student die.
So the 25, Helianthus, your mesomorph form does come into being quite stable, very solid, no erratic movements or energies to it. It is animated. It looks very much alive. What does it look like? What does it do?
Well, it's now, grow. It's the sunflower that's growing and dying, and the death in particular happens with just this kind of explosion of lightning along the stalk of the sunflower. So it's kind of just like a giant lightning rod, because it's like 6-7 feet tall, and then that's kind of what causes the wilting and then the repetition of the process.
Nice. And it's made of contained lightning?
Yes.
Awesome. Great. I mean, it's a huge spectacle when that kind of takes shape and solidifies. Students all around you look on in awe as this, this huge stalk made of lightning coursing within a very, very thin veneer of just magical force that carries out this process you described of kind of coming to life and then receding and repeating over and over again. Yeah, I mean, Veyron will come over and say, that's gorgeous, Elia. Truly a masterpiece. You have great potential.
Thanks.
And next we had Stella, who
20 Arcana check.
did pretty well on this. So your small bag of seeds is thankfully made relatively real by the magical force. You managed to encapsulate it, has good resolution, looks solid, and you're able to touch it if you experiment. What sort of element did you add to your bag of seeds?
I only have one damaging cantrip. I cast Bonfire at it, and the seeds start popping like popcorn.
Nice.
They've changed vegetables.
Excellent. Yeah, it's Veyron comes over and says, "That's you did a wonderful job of making it real. That's certainly impressive."
How real does it get? Like, can I now? She's like opening her mouth. Can I now?
Well, you could, but it is still composed of magical energy, my dear. I don't think it's edible. I wouldn't recommend it anyway.
They should have more like edible art around here. I think that'd be really cool.
I think you'll find that at the cafeteria. They do make masterpieces at the cafeteria here. You would enjoy the food, I assure you, but we don't typically eat our elemental creations.
Okay.
Fergal, your snake, the 16?
16, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so its edges become sharp. You will see occasional little flare-ups, the fire kind of beginning to escape the sheath. But it is a large, powerful-looking snake that looks very lifelike all the same. If anything, it's almost too lifelike and menacing. The flames kind of exploding out of its mouth occasionally and rippling down its back as it I guess, winds its way around your kind of workshop area. Veyron will come over and say, "That's an incredible creation. It's not quite stable enough to last, but a spectacle to be sure, and far more than anybody could have expected from a student so distant from the Prismari teachings."
The candle that burns brightest lasts half as long.
Too true. Sammy, how did we do this time?
9.
Yes. Unfortunately, even with Veyron's help, shaping your elemental energies to look somewhat, or your Mesomorph stone to look somewhat like Lorehold, like Velomachus Lorehold, you are not able to contain the energies. And as you're trying, you're kind of projecting your magical will onto this thing. It explodes outwards. What sort of energy did you use?
She picked up one of the wands, and so she tried having some thunder crackle from around her.
Thunder or
also
lightning?
wanted thunder.
Okay.
She wanted to have some thunder like booming just around the. Try and having it in a sort of distance, because magic. It doesn't end up doing that. part of her wanted to get that really imposing feeling that she got by having it like blow when she sighs. Instead it's just like a gentle breeze at best, and like Sammy tries throwing lint to make it seem more cool.
And unfortunately, as Varen comes over to see your creation, it does rupture. The thunderous energy kind of escaping and then blasting outwards with a huge boom that shocks the class. Everybody kind of stops and looks over. And Varen says, "It was beautiful and marvelous while it lasted. Don't give up. There's always next time."
Yeah, they'll just have to study some more the paintings.
And Vega did pretty well in the shaping as well. Yeah, so I guess your thunderous harmonica does take form in sharp relief. It looks very much real. In fact, its edges are defined enough that it could believably make sound the way you want it to. In fact, it will if you begin to, I guess, play it.
I think Vega was trying to use this thundering smite spell to kind of have maybe the energy of the thunder make the instrument, I guess, play itself. Like on a cadence, kind of like the harmony would kind of come through and hear like a bit of rolling thunder, and then the sound would blow, perhaps. She was expecting for this thing to shake itself apart.
Perfect. It does not. It does. It shakes. It plays. Its sound kind of carrying through the room. What sort of melody does it play? What sort of sound? Is it discordant? Is it harmonic? Is it beautiful? Does it play a song, or is it just notes?
It's just a lovely 5-part harmony. It's a complicated sound, but it's one that Vega loves. It's her favorite kind of chord to play on the lute. So she reproduced it here with 5 whistles.
Beautiful. Varen comes over and says, "That is marvelous. Truly a masterpiece, especially given the origin of the person who made it. I've never seen a Silver Quill student accomplish quite so much in so little time here."
Well, thank you. It's been fun.
So it has. So for, let's see, I think it was for Helianthus, for Vega, and that is the entire list, unfortunately. Oh, actually, wait. Yeah, so Helianthus and Vega, your creations are stable enough that you can actually keep them with you. They are safe for use. They don't look much like this, but Varen will kind of do some fancy elemental stuff, kind of strengthening that magical sheath on them, and they are stable. They're useful, and so you can have them stick with you. You'll see all around the room, other people have created animals. They've created moving sculptures, and some of them, very, very few, but some of them have the same kind of treatment added to their creations. Varen comes over and breathes true life into them. And you'll see a small cat kind of prancing around. You'll see a bird flitting through the air, and a wind chime made of crystals begins to play in an unseen breeze.
This is gonna be really hard to carry back to the dorm room.
Varen will explain to you that they don't have a whole lot of weight, but she can give you something to help you carry it if you want.
It grows to twice my height.
True. She'll hand you a small bag with the Prismari seal on it, and tell you that you can place it in there and then remove it when you're at the place you want to be.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it is a bag of holding, so as you put the sunflower in it, it will kind of disappear into a demiplane within the bag.
Oh, cool. That's fancy.
Yeah.
Do I have to bring this back to you, or is...
Yes, I would like the bag back. Thank you.
Great. Just wanted to make sure.
All right. So with that, I mean, the class breaks up. People who, as they're leaving the Pyromancy and the Arts Open Art Forum, are abuzz. Many people asking the people who managed to make functional art elementals how they did it, or just applauding them or playing. The cat's very popular, of course. Everybody wants to play with the little fire cat. And yeah, you guys can depart back to your dorm. All right, so back to Central Campus.
Oh, this is another cool piece of art we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't using these before, but we are now.
Ooh.
Oh, I love these. Like they're pencil drawings, it looks like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the colors.
Reminds me of like a 50s or 60s sketch of Disneyland or something.
Yeah,
Mm.
a little bit, yeah.
When you
Or
have
like
the
a world
book,
fair.
Yeah.
when you have the book, the whole like map is like connected to all the other campuses, so it's just really huge and really pretty.
Oh, cool.
Whoa.
We have that too.
That's super cool.
All right, so back to Central Campus. When you return from this open art forum, Stella, there's a message waiting for you from Talana Capule. It says, "Meet me at the Bow's End tonight if you're available. We have another pair of love advice submissions to review."
Guys, the newspaper is getting hot. I need all our collective brain juices to make this romance a go.
Oh, that was fun last time.
Yeah. Gonna just throw a glance at Vega. It was so cool.
What?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
If you guys want to go to the Bow's End with us later to give love advice, that'd be really appreciated. Like all your wisdoms and stuff.
Stella, did your Quandrix classmate who was with us in the Sedgemoor, did she make it back okay? Do you know?
Do I know?
The
Marco?
girl with the green hair.
Right. The one who
Oh.
sacrificed her body to protect us.
She was in relatively bad shape. She's probably been in the infirmary for the last day.
We should visit her.
Lorraine?
Yeah.
Lorene, yeah.
Lorraine.
She really fought alongside us. We should totally visit her in the infirmary. If you
She
guys
was
have
very
time.
impressive.
We're not gonna have to intercept some weird guy creeping on another student, right? That was kind of a bummer last time I hung out with you guys.
That was extracurricular. This is like people actually asking for advice instead of us
Okay.
butting in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So did you want to go to the infirmary or the Bow's End?
Can we just drop by the infirmary real quick
Yeah.
to make sure she's still kicking?
Totally. We'll say it's like a building that's maybe over here somewhere. They don't give us a location for the infirmary of Strixhaven. Of course, they have plenty of them. It's a white marble building with plenty of clerics and other folk of divine magic in attendance. You're led quickly. You're on the list of allowed invitees or allowed visitors for Lorene. When you enter, you see Lorene in a bed. She looks entirely whole, like there's no visible damage. But she's kind of gazing out the window. She kind of looks over, and when Vega enters, she snaps up out of the bed, kind of scrambling, throwing blankets off, and sitting up primly, and says, hey, hello, hi, wow, this is wonderful. Thanks for visiting me. If you're here to visit me.
Oh, I mean, thank Stella and Teleanthus for. It was their idea to swing by, but
Oh.
you probably shouldn't be moving. Shouldn't you be in the bed?
No,
You're
I'm
all right.
I'm okay. It's I'm just taking a break. It was a lot. Right. Thanks for wanting to visit me, Helianthus and Stella. That's really nice of you.
Yeah. How are you feeling? After all of that
Well,
bloodshed.
I'm okay. Yeah, it sure was a lot that happened. I've never really fought like that before.
It was very impressive.
Thank you.
Wasn't it, Vega?
I mean, it was amazing the way you kept getting really hurt, but then getting back up. I mean, that's most of what fighting really is not giving up, and you didn't. So,
Really?
well done.
If I'm being honest, fighting does not seem like something I like very much.
Oh, then don't force yourself. But we appreciate the help you did give. It was very brave.
Thanks.
We barely made it through. I don't think we would have without you.
Vega, do you like board games? Do you like the games of strategy? I'm really good at theoretical fighting, like Battles of the Mind.
I have played a few tactical games, but I've but not any here, and it's it's been a while, not since I was a kid. I kind of picked up a blade and never looked back, but I did have fun playing them when I was little.
Oh, I found a game. It's from a different plane. It's called Dragon Chess. I have a set that I made if you want to play. I mean, sometime you don't have to play it now. Obviously, I know you're busy.
No, I can. We're going to the Bow's End. You should probably still rest, but I could. That sounds fun, actually. I could come back.
Oh, I'm actually okay. Can I come with you to the Bow's? I mean, I'm okay. I've just been resting, but I think going to the Bow's End with some friends would. We're friends,
Yeah, we're going
right?
to. Stella runs a column of love advice, and we're going to go through some new letters or
Lorene-
something. I don't really know.
Lorene blushes red and says, "Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. We should do that." I mean, what's the love advice column about? I've never heard of that before.
It's new. Stella made it up.
Yeah, it's to help people with relationship questions, borrow our vast relationship wisdom. Because we all have so much vast relationship wisdom to share.
So much.
That sounds like a really great thing to have for people who are, figuring this stuff out for the first time. I mean, not that, anybody I know is doing that, but it just sounds like a really nice thing to offer people. So,
Yeah. And it's totally safe because it's totally anonymous and there's no embarrassing feelings to be had anywhere.
Right, it would have to
Just
be
trying to help.
anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
And
no,
I've
I'll
learned a
come with
lot
you.
from it. Yeah.
I'm sure grab some of her stuff from the room, and leave with you guys.
Excellent.
Bagel will offer to help carry if it looks kind of bulky. If she has a lot of stuff, Bagel will help. Like, do you need help with that? Or you good? I don't need to.
I'm fine. I got it. She does struggle a little bit, but she seems to want to carry it herself. And off to the Bow's End we go.
Oh, there's so many people in there.
Yeah, it's the Bow's End. This is where folks hang out.
Any of our friends here?
Well,
Several.
see for yourself. So
The-
here you guys are.
Xanther's here and Aurora. Oh, those guys.
Those guys are still there at the same table.
That's
That's
like
their
their table.
spot.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Stalker has someone at his table. Do we recognize this person?
I mean, not from there. You don't.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You're standing outside.
Oh, okay. We're gonna move towards our usual table, which is, I guess, where Aurora is.
Yeah, she'll smile and wave as you approach. I saved you guys seats.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you.
that's
Talana
awesome
came by
stuff.
earlier and said she'd be here momentarily.
Oh, great.
Thinks you're
great.
expecting her for some reason.
Yeah, we have a project.
Oh, right, great. Did you do the art class today, Fergal?
I did. It
What-
was.
What did you make?
I made this big fiery snake.
That sounds awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Did they let you
It
keep
was-
it?
It wasn't the most stable.
That's okay.
It looked incredible, though.
It was really cool. Everyone made some really cool stuff. Mine exploded.
That's
Which is
cool.
also very cool.
Are they supposed to do that?
No.
Oh,
If
well,
you wanted to.
No, you didn't have to say no right away. I could have lied.
Lying to your friends is wrong.
I don't know this person. No offense, you. But I don't know her.
Sammy, this is Aurora. Aurora, Sammy.
it's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi.
Do you like flowers, Aurora?
Some of them.
Do you like big, tall, happy flowers?
Sort of.
Well, never mind then.
What about small, short, sad flowers?
Sometimes.
Do you prefer your flowers dead or alive?
Well, with the really pretty blooms, the roses, the orchids, the ones that are really hard to keep alive, there's a certain beauty when they die. It's hard to explain.
Like, if someone was going to gift you flowers, what would be your ideal flower gift?
Delicate flowers that are hard to grow.
Interesting. That's interesting. That might be useful for our project.
Well, I look forward to hearing about what you come up with. And Talana does enter the bow's end. She has a pair of sealed envelopes with her. Here is Talana. There we go. Talana Capul. She's a year ahead of you guys. She's third year right now. She is quite clearly Quandrix from her garb and demeanor. She enters with a big smile. We'll say, hello, everyone. I think this love advice column is doing a lot of good on campus. I've heard all sorts of folk talking about it and the exceptional advice that's been given out. I think I'm going to step back now that it seems like it's successful. You can take it from here, Stella, I assume?
Oh, okay. Thank you for delivering the letters.
Of course. They'll come to you directly from now on.
Oh, okay.
Stella, that's so cool.
That's a big step.
It's like a promotion.
Am I getting promoted, Talana?
You could say that, though it's really always been your idea. I was just here to help.
Oh, thanks for your guidance all along. Also, do you know what the class was about today in the second year, Quandrix, like computational magic, like the third week? Just what they cover in general.
If memory serves, this would be the week where you typically learn about fractal growth as pertains to vegetative improvements. It's been a year, but I'm pretty sure I remember.
Your memory is the best. She's gonna write down vegetal growth.
Did you miss class, Stella?
For a very good reason. It was so educational, the reason.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that, and with the love advice column. I'll be watching your accomplishments from afar with great interest.
All right, thank you. You don't want to stay and eat with us and stuff?
I'm sorry, I'm very busy.
Oh, okay.
And she will drop off the letters and depart.
Ooh.
The letters are...
Sammy's gonna stand up and go grab a drink.
Yeah. What sort of drink do you want?
So, as her last name suggests, she does have a tea farm somewhere at her back home at home. So she just usually asks for whatever the fanciest tea is that they have at the Bow's End.
Nice. They have a red tea they prize here. It's grown in the Prismari campus, so as to have some elemental fire energy to it. If you're really, really careful with how you taste it, you can supposedly get a hint of that.
Tastes hot.
Yeah, but anyway, Stella is able to open the letter. Here is the first one.
Ooh. She carefully unfolds the little beautiful crane.
Do you want to read it for us?
Yeah. It says, Dear Stella, I have a friend, but I really want her to be more than a friend. She always makes time for me, even though we're in very different colleges, and I love spending that time with her. We can talk for hours about anything, and because she's brilliant and knows everything and everyone. But here's the thing. We've been friends since we were freshmen, and I know she's just like that. She's nice to everyone. So what if I'm overthinking it? I'm scared of losing one of my closest friends to my feelings, but gosh, it feels so weird to look at her dumb, pretty face and pretend I don't want to see it more often. Her pretty face isn't dumb. I'm sorry. It's just pretty. Sincerely, ruining my chances. Oh, this one's a tough one. Wow. Have any of you guys been in a situation like this before? Trying to get out of the zone of friendship?
Well, sure. I've had a friendship, that I had wanted to be more, I say, and I make eye contact. Aurora.
Aurora smiles and kind of grabs your arm with a squeeze.
Oh. how did you approach that? Yeah, how did you approach it?
Well, actually, I was trying to figure out how to, and she is the one who broached the subject.
Look, if you want something, you should go out and get it. There's no sense in waiting around for something to come to you. And, you know, if you're going to go get it, do it in fabulous style. Don't take shortcuts. Don't cut corners. Go all the way. You'll never know if you don't try.
Yeah, but like if you did like a really big grand gesture, which was really wonderful and beautiful, but like some people might not like that, so maybe know your audience.
Well, if they don't like grand gestures, they're not the right one for me.
And I think that's the important thing. You got to be yourself. And if they like you as yourself, presenting yourself as yourself, then it'll go well. And if not, then yeah, maybe it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, I like that. Like, go out in grand fashion. But I'm also sensing like a bit of fear about like ruining a friendship. Like, if they get rejected, does that necessarily mean friendship is over?
Only if they let it.
It depends if they're like really her friend or if they are just like wanting her for something else. Because if they're really her friend, then they still will be.
That's a really good point. Like, they have to do a bit of like introspection about their own motives.
But on this theoretical other hand, what if this person would be like freaked out by this person's confession?
I mean, it might take some processing time, and that's okay. Like, if someone just showed up and was like, hey, I really like you, and we should go on a date, and I wasn't expecting it, I'd be like, whoa, I don't know. But you just think about it, right? And then you make a decision. You're allowed think time.
Yeah. And I guess if that conversation goes poorly and they end the friendship over it, it's just one of those like risks in life you have to take. And friendship was good when it lasted.
They should definitely not call her dumb though. It's not a good way to get a girl.
True. So we're gonna write to like make a fabulous gesture, but accept whatever decision their friend goes with and be themselves.
Nice. All right, here is
Vega has pulled out a notebook, and she's been very quietly listening and nodding to everyone. And towards the end, she puts a header at the top that says, "How to get a girl." And then it says, "Don't call her dumb. Be yourself."
Vega, are you taking notes?
You said I should take notes more often.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. This feels important.
Does that even have a header on it?
It
You've
does.
learned so well.
I mean, thank you for letting me borrow your notes all that time. I've never really had to take notes before, so this is good, right?
Yeah. It's good.
It's
good.
in it, the page next to it is like how to fight a wraith. Like
You're not separate for subjects at all? Is it all just the same?
We'll get there. We're not there yet.
Okay.
See, a wraith. A wraith is a great example. It's like a ghost, but you can see the skull in it. It's got bones and ghost.
Thank you.
Wasn't that conversation like several days ago?
It's still very important. Some wraiths have bones.
Okay.
Writing at the bottom of the letter, P.S. Some ghosts have bones. Just thought you should know.
deep, very deep. All right, we'll go to the next one. Although, the next one, yep. All right, go ahead and read this one to us as well, Stella.
Oh, okay. Gonna carefully unfold this. Dear Stella, I'm head over heels for this lady. She's gorgeous, refined, has some kind of dark, bad girl vibe, and she's perfect. Problem is, she's way out of my league. She's a campus celebrity, she's good at everything, she's got potent magic and even more potent music, and she's with someone already. I don't want to be the bad guy, but she seems happy with him. So how do I make these feelings go away? Maybe there's magic that can help. I've been trying to calm emotions, but it only lasts for a minute at a time, and it's super awkward if people notice me catching enchantments. Not good. Help. Quillen me softly.
They should accept reality and just move on.
I think they are trying to, hence, like, changing their brain with magic.
Whatever they need to do.
I don't think that's a healthy coping mechanism. I do agree that they should accept and not interfere with relationships, but I don't think it's good to just magic yourself all the time, because then you're not actually getting over it.
Yeah, they need a better coping mechanism and to leave people who are already in relationships alone. They need to find their own happiness. Ooh, let's tell them to join a LARP club or something, something happy. To take their mind off this obsession.
Each college does have counselors, including for people, when you're feeling bad. You could also suggest one of those.
Oh, yeah. That's super good. Like, everyone should go to therapy. Go to therapy, period.
All right, for sure. Cool.
But, nicer.
Also, if you get hit in the head enough times, you might not feel that way. So go out on expeditions, maybe get hit a bunch.
Go on adventures. Fill your mind and life with other invigorating things.
That sounds a lot better than just get hit a bunch. Good job, Stella.
That's what I was feeling what Sammy was trying to say. I feel it.
Yeah, that was it.
Nice. Okay, great. Well, so your love advice submissions have been handled for the night with 2 responses written. Hopefully those are helpful to people looking for them. Yeah, we will go ahead to our break in the middle of the session. We'll resume in about 10 minutes. And after that, we will get to the big end of year 2 final, which, promises to be rather exciting. So yeah, we'll be back in about 10 minutes, say 8:42-ish. And yeah, talk to you all then. And we are back. Curriculum of Wonder is what we're doing tonight. Our first half of this episode, we did some creative classwork, some catching up on what happened last time with some various characters. We checked in on the situation with the villain from last episode. We also did a very interesting little art class. And now we're going to be doing something a little different with a big end of year 2 final exam. So this year's final exam, the big one, the one that you're all worried about, is of course Applied Arcane Arts. The course taught by none other than Lord Zahid, the genie who is clearly not a member of a typical member of Strixhaven faculty. He doesn't bear the
nobility.
clothes. Well, okay, all right, fair. I mean, you can think what you want about him, I guess. He thinks he's a lord. Like the point is, he doesn't wear.
Fail us.
He doesn't wear clothes that ally him with any house. Though he wears like a small silver quill pin, probably on his jacket, just to identify himself when asked, presumably. But yeah, you've been warned repeatedly in his courses that his final exam will be absolutely deadly.
Literally?
And to arrive
Okay.
expecting the worst. Which, given your exam for the year, Applied Arcane Arts has been an awful course for most of you. Whether your character doesn't like studying, hates being verbally berated, or just doesn't have an Archmage's penchant for casting powerful magic spells, Lord Zahid is a really harsh instructor. You probably feel like you've learned a fair amount about Applied Arcane Arts. He is certainly very knowledgeable and a powerful mage in his own right. You've witnessed him summon thunderstorms to silence the class when it was rowdy, and teleport students somewhere very far away when they were acting out or gave too many wrong answers. Yeah, Vega probably has been sent to the top of the Biblioplex a couple of times. Which was very windy, by the
Problem
way.
is that he sent her to the top of the Biblioplex, which is objectively awesome.
True. It's encouraging bad behavior.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, so today's final exam will be delivered at the an outdoor stage, an amphitheater. This is the same location as you went to for the big duel between Yoke and Egan. So let's head over there. Yes.
For the record, Vega does try in this class. It's just very hard for her to pass up the opportunity to verbally spar with Lord Zahir.
Wait, is that vampire dude's new lady friend sitting next to us?
Oh yeah, we wanted to spy on him.
Missed opportunities.
Who
Um,
is she?
Dang it.
Wait, she's here twice. That's weird.
Some of these tokens do represent generic NPCs.
Why do we have 99 HP?
Oh, that's
Oh.
concerning.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. The point is,
That's our grade.
you arrive
Gonna go
here.
down.
The first thing you notice is that the stage that you saw Yoke and Egan duel on has been modified. There are huge arcane barriers of rippling purple force energy kind of ringing the stage. And you see they go up about 100 feet or 60 feet and are capped at the top. So it's like an aquarium almost, or like an enclosure is the right word for it. Lord Zahid is taking up the central stage. Your classmates are around you. He addresses the gathered students and says, "Some of you have failed to disappoint me over the course of this year. Most of you have succeeded.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you struggle, and most of you fail today. As you're all aware, Strixhaven has come under attack in recent history. There was an assault on our students in the Sedgemoor. Now, I don't particularly care about Strixhaven, its students, or your pathetic, miserable lives, but my job is to make sure you're able to defend yourselves. So today you will defend yourselves. with magical power not entirely your own. Someday, perhaps, you will acquire some modicum of this power for yourselves, and at that point, this practice will be perfectly relevant for you. Until then, let this be a taste of the power you could acquire if you apply yourselves and don't die on your paths to meager glory.
Megan looks too excited about this.
Is actual death a concern for this final?
He waves a hand and says, anybody who dies will be brought back in short order.
Oh, that doesn't make me feel better.
You'll be fine. You're awesome in a fight.
Is this a group project?
It's funny you should ask that. We have amongst us, students, a group who considers themselves heroes. They've done some things around campus that would mark them as star pupils. You may have even heard their names bandied about campus as up-and-coming champions of Strixhaven. This exam is designed to show you all that even the best among you is practically nothing before the power of the elements. But I expect them to do better than most.
It's just the wrong place at the wrong time.
I really resent this.
He says, if the 5 of you could step forward, you'll be taking the exam first.
Sammy, I think you're coming with us.
Sammy,
Sammy
who was
wasn't even there.
previously scooting away to he says 5 of you, just like, fuck.
It's worth noting, Sammy, you took this class last year, and it was nothing like this last time. It was mostly book studying and, like, learning how to cast shield and counterspell. That was about it.
This guy's new though, this teacher.
Okay. She's like, I expected. I guess I'll burn my notes. Whatever.
No, don't burn your note. Don't do that.
I'm not gonna need them, apparently.
I mean, honestly, most of these final exams turned out to be practicals, which is kind of the best. I mean, I'm so sorry, Helianthus. This is no good for you, but I mean,
You'll do great though.
This
Gonna do great.
institution of Strixhaven prides itself on academic knowledge, but when it comes to self-defense, you don't have time to think about what you know. You must simply act. To that end, don't worry about your notes, your knowledge, your book learning. I will be imparting unto you the power to defend yourselves, and you will be practicing the skill of acting.
Like a stage performance acting?
With your lives on the line.
I thought we weren't allowed to die here.
We can.
Is there a script?
Oh wait, do we have a handout for Lord? We totally do.
Who let this professor teach here? Like honestly, he's threatening to kill students. This can't be like kosher.
We actually found a thing about him.
Yeah, I think it was Dapperwing or something, right?
Lord Zahid, Professor of Applied Arcane Arts. He is a genie. He is straight up a genie. There are like dark storm clouds kind of wreathing up off of his forehead and scalp. You do see lightning crackling between them at various times, especially when he's angry. Which is almost always.
Tracks.
That lightning now gathers, though he has a smile on his face as he gestures at all of you. Magical energy blasts out from him and encircles you, and you feel yourselves being lifted up into the air with energy kind of suffusing your bodies. You also feel yourselves changing a little bit, not in any significant physical way. You just kind of feel strange modifications being made. Like you know things, you have access to powers that you have never accessed before. And when the ordeal is over, which is extremely painful, you look at each other. You're the same, but you know far more than you did before. You can feel energy crackling at your fingertips, bursting, waiting to be let out. With a gesture, he waves, and you all lurch sideways, kind of disappearing across time and space, just ever so briefly. With this great sense of vertigo, you appear within the barrier.
Cool.
I feel denser.
It's worth noting that You all have a different stat block now. If it gives you a weird message when you first pull it up, just say create an NPC and it'll go away.
Oh. Interesting.
Am I supposed to have actions on here?
You do. If you
Oh,
click,
There we
is.
go. Yes, I can see it.
yeah, if you click your token, you should also have token action pop-up buttons in the upper left of your screen.
If I click on something, can I expand it without casting it?
The buttons? No. But the spells button will just bring up a list in the chat.
I think if you do the eye,
Oh,
it'll open up. Yeah, if you
Oh yeah,
press
for
the-
spells, yeah.
Yeah.
okay. I have one of those still. Great.
For some flavor description while folks are figuring out the new stat blocks. Energy courses through you, feel an incredible power, desire even, to annihilate, to destroy, to cause havoc and destruction. And you know you have the power to do so. At the same time, you hear Lord Zahid begin an incantation. It is in Orin, which is a dialect of Primordial. Does anybody speak that?
No.
I do.
You do? Okay, well good, because I get to read the little speech I had written out. Otherwise, it just sounds like whooshing sounds. Whooshing and crackling of lightning and booming of thunder. But no, most of you will hear it as that. It sounds like a storm that is trying to speak. But Stella understands him call out, Lesser Caliph Zahid il Banir ben Alwal Zafar, shepherd of storms and maelstrom rider, summons thee, Huala il Korai, heart of lightning, to do battle in this mortal realm. With that, the ground in the arena on the opposite end from you guys begins to crackle with lightning and then explodes upwards. Wind blasts forth from a portal that forms there. And suddenly, storm clouds appear in the enclosure. Rain pelts you, winds whip around, and lightning strikes from above, hitting the stage all around you. Emerging up from that portal is a massive creature. It looks like a winged serpent with lightning crackling through it. And as it rises and joins with a storm around it, it lets loose a scream that is at once the crackling of thunder and a power far beyond anything you should find in this plane. Its eyes, coursing with lightning, latch onto you all, and it roars at you, and you can see the lightning around it begin to intensify. Let's roll initiative.
This is terrifying.
Doesn't like us at all.
To read so many spells. I don't know what any of these do.
Good news is that most of them are good.
I am noticing that, yes.
When it says that the stat block casts some spells on itself before battle, that
Ignore that.
doesn't actually. Okay.
Yeah.
We all have the same spells.
Yes.
Oh.
We are missing initiative from... Oh, what was your initiative, Helanthus? Oh,
I
no,
got a
you're
20.
there.
I'm on there.
You are there. Vega's not on there.
Oh, Vega got it was pretty good. A 20.
Oh, nice. All right. Cool. So, top of the order is Vega, presumably?
And Vega cracks kind of every bone in her body and is just absolutely grinning from ear to ear and just is eyes locked onto this creature that's shown up in the sky. I've always wanted to do this. And a enormous fireball will erupt from her hands and form, I guess, right on top of or next to the creature, trying to encapsulate them in this.
Sure.
So let's see if casting at level 3 for DC 17 deck save.
All right. The storm does try to move out of the way. It fails. The fireball does explode around it.
For 22 points of damage. Fire
All right.
damage. And Vega will also move away from the group. All right, well, we definitely need to spread out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'll be. Oh, wait, we can cast another spell as a bonus action.
With a cost, yeah.
What is that cost? Oh, on the next turn, we can only do cantrips.
Oh.
Vega will not in that case. She kind of wants to wait and see. So that'll be it.
All right. As the blossoming fireball kind of explodes onto the creature and then fades away in a cloud of smoke, you see the lightning begin to crackle through that smoke. The creature screams, and a bolt of lightning from the storm clouds above strikes it where Vega is standing. We need a dexterity saving throw.
And Vega starts cursing, realizing what you should have done. Saves for 14.
All right. The lightning does strike at you, dealing 25 points of lightning damage. You feel it, and you also don't feel it, I guess. It's like it's happening to you, but a different you. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a very out-of-body experience.
So we save for half.
Oh, do you have advantage?
We all have advantage
Nice.
on
Yes,
all
so half. So
magic
12 points of lightning
spells.
damage. Yep.
Excellent.
Why do we have advantage? Oh, never mind.
Yeah. After that is Helianthus.
Oh God, I have so many things. I am going to create something. A storm sphere. That sounds cool.
Ooh.
I will. Yeah. Why? I make a sphere of whirling air around the spooky dragon thing.
Okay. You are making a storm around the storm creature.
Oh, dang. Never. I was given so many options and I don't know what any of them do. I will.
If it makes you feel better, this is exactly what's supposed to be happening to your character right now.
I will die. We'll make a. What does this do? I'll make a sunburst.
Great, cast it. Go.
That's cool. Wow, I rolled 3 ones. That's a DC 17 con save.
DC 17 con save. All right. As a beam of light blasts forth, the creature does fail that saving throw.
It takes 40 damage.
I think it's going to. So the beam does blast into it. You see it begin to succumb to the effects, and it does, at the last second, kind of, I guess, magic bursts forth and deflects some of the sunbeam.
That's so rude.
That's good though. We need it to do that a bunch more times.
I go.
Takes half of 40.
Sure, yeah. So go back this way a little bit. And that is all of the things.
All right. After your turn, before its turn, it's going to swoop over here. As it does, you can all feel your hair standing up as the creature's mere presence causes lightning to arc around. It is relatively harmless at this point until it's its turn.
Oh no, it's his turn.
Yeah. So on its turn, the winds begin to intensify, whipping back and forth. You feel your clothes kind of pulling at you, your hair being pulled in all kinds of directions. The creature will then, you'll see lightning course across its entire body and then bursts forth, lightning striking everywhere around it. Everybody needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm using this stat block's deck
Yes.
saves. Oh,
So we get advantage too, right?
You do get advantage. We are calling these effects magical.
but not spells, right?
Not spells.
Okay, cool.
I will let you know if it casts a spell. All right, cool. So, let's see. Looks like everybody is in the clear as far as the worst effects go. You'll all take, so DC is 20. You'll take either 30 damage or 15 if you got 20 or higher.
Wait, it's 20?
DC 20, yeah.
Oh no.
So I think most of you failed except for Fergal.
I got it.
So you all take the 30 lightning. But you're not stunned, which is what would happen if you failed by a lot.
Ooh.
The creature will then kind of keen in the air. And I guess swoop over to here just a little bit to kind of cover you. Those of you who are within its space are being whipped by incredible winds, having trouble seeing. Stella's next.
Having trouble seeing, does that mean we have a harder time attacking?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Can we hellish
Stella-
rebuke
You certainly
in
can.
return?
Ooh.
Vega will use a reaction to cast it at 3rd level.
All right. It does fail, taking 21 points of fire damage.
Very nice.
All right, Stella, what's it gonna be?
Stella is going to wreath herself in a crown of stars and send some flying at the underbelly of the beast.
You have disadvantage, but it hits anyway. Wait, no, yes, it does.
Pew pew. Wait, I had it open. I think we're all sharing the same sheet.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
4d12.
Oh, you can just click it in chat there.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Very good.
All right, yeah, that star does, despite being buffeted by the winds, it strikes home at the creature. It doesn't like that at all. You'll see the creature being a little bit reduced here.
Cool. And then follow that up with a measly firebolt. Because that was a.
I think Crown of Stars is an action. Throwing it's a bonus action.
Oh,
right?
I see. I see. Okay.
So you can on subsequent turns throw it as a bonus action and also cast a
Got
spell,
it.
I believe.
Yes, I think you're right.
Okay.
Hey. Thank you.
After that, the creature is going to lightning strike at Vega, who continues to be a thorn in its side. Give us a dex save.
This is wild. Fail.
16 points of the lightning, and then it is Fergal's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna start off by casting Time Stop.
All right,
Ooh.
roll that d4.
Last, 5 rounds.
Whoa.
So first thing I'm gonna do is start walking away.
Yeah, everybody freezes. You are alone in time.
So on my first round, I'm going to cast a Delayed Blast Fireball right here using an 8th level slot.
Right?
Let me just mark this off. 1. Round 2, I will cast. I'll cast Crown of Stars. And I'll move away a little more. Round 3, I'll cast Mirror Image.
Oops.
Round 4. I'm losing track of the things I was gonna do. Maybe that's enough. Actually, I don't know if there's anything else I can hold on to very well.
You're out of time. What happens?
Okay. Yeah. So basically, at this point, I'm gonna chill out for 2 more rounds. Then I'm going to let the Delayed Blast Fireball go off.
Well, it's so you ended on 4 rounds with your mirror image, right?
What do you mean?
Like your 4th round's action was casting mirror image.
Yeah.
Okay, so your 5th round, which is the last round you have, what are you doing?
Oh, okay. I'll dodge.
Okay, doke. All right. So the delayed blast fireball has been active at this point for 4 turns, right?
Yeah.
And then when time resumes, it is a 4 count fireball,
Right.
which you can release, I think, at any time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just let it go now.
Okay.
So it's 4. Let's see, it's at level 8, and that's 4 more dice, right? Not
I think so,
super
yep.
familiar with this spell. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'll roll this, and then I'll add 4d6. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Let me just do this.
You can just
the
click-
base-
if you click the spell name, I think it'll let you cast it. It's when you click
Okay.
the buttons on the right that like it puts it in chat.
Gotcha. Level 8. No, that's okay.
Okay,
So
great.
it's 12d6 plus 1d6 because it's higher level. So that's 13 plus 4 more is 17.
It should be 16 because you cast it at 8th level, right? Oh, it's
Yeah.
7th level base. You're right. 17. Right. Yep. Very much
Okay,
so.
17d6. So 67 fire damage.
All right. DC is 17. It will begin to fail. You'll definitely see it kind of flinch back. The storm, I guess, blasting towards the fireball explosion that tries to get out of the way. So it will use a legendary there functionally. Still taking 33 points of fire damage as this massive explosion happens. For the rest of you, Fergal just disappears. And then all of a sudden there's this massive explosion on the other side of which is Fergal, 4 Fergals, each having 8 little stars orbiting his head.
And then I'm trying to remember how this works. When time resumes, can I take the bonus action at the end of my last turn that I hadn't taken yet?
So normally the way it works is that you would, on your 5th turn, or your final turn, wherever you want to resume time, you would just use an action to do something to a creature, which would end it, but you're still your turn.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Then I will throw. I will throw just a regular fireball at it.
All right. And so we're not dodging, I guess, is the...
Oh, so I was dodging. Okay, in that case, yes, perfect. So I'll keep my dodge, and then I'll throw one of my crown of stars at it.
Oh, cool, yeah. It does have disadvantage. Because apparently
Let's
winds
see.
affect beams of stars or something.
What's my +9 to hit? Okay, cool. So let's just do this. Oh, but I have another one. I'm just gonna roll d20. Add 9. That's easier. 19. There we go. So that's 28
Wait,
for. Is it what?
disadvantage, though?
Oh, I thought it was.
Hmm?
Oh, I thought you said with advantage.
Oh, no, sorry, with disadvantage. My bad.
Oh.
Because the winds are granting disadvantage on ranged attacks right now.
Oh.
My-
Okay,
my bad.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I missed. That's fine.
Okie
Yeah.
doke.
Great,
But you
I'm
are over there. It just exploded.
Yeah.
It does not like that at all. Sammy's turn.
Has it used a reaction? Has it done that yet?
It doesn't look like it's reacted.
Okay.
Oh, this is-
She will first cast Fly because she has tiny halfling legs.
Okay. The air is extremely turbulent. Just giving that as a hint.
Does that mean she flies further?
You could say that. You could certainly say that.
She just wants to get out of range of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
She does not care about opportunity attacks, but she's gonna go. Oh god, where am I? Okay, what year is it? She will fly as far away as humanly possible, halflingly possible.
Okay, so let's give you... the winds are fighting you. Give us a strength save.
Okay, is it magic wind?
No. Well, no. This wind effect is not magical.
Okay.
Okay, so it is
Fine.
difficult to fly in that direction. So you're gonna have half speed.
Okay.
Um,
And she only goes
which-
30 feet away.
Right, probably isn't too relevant. It will try to slam you as you depart.
Okay.
Oh, I guess you're not actually far enough away from it yet.
Oh, fun. That's cool. That's rad. Thanks. That's cool information. So that was her action. On her bonus action, can she? No, she cannot do that. She wants to try casting Cone of Cold. Nope. Nope. She doesn't. No. Is it? Wait. How high is it in the air?
It is approximately 20 feet in diameter. I mean, it's much larger than that, but that's the space it occupies. So it goes from the ground 20 feet up.
Is there a way I could cast a cone of cold at it that does not hit Stella?
There is. Cone of Cold isn't a bonus action unless you do special things.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't. I'm so dumb.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not dumb, but you know.
Does she have anything she can do? as a bonus action?
You could Arcane Surge to cast, I think it's a 3rd level spell or lower.
Yeah.
I think she will do that to slam a lightning bolt at it.
Okay.
It is lightning.
I thought it was other things. Shite. Sorry, I said I didn't say that. I said scorching ray.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
All right. Disadvantage on the raise, but you get to roll 3 of them if you're casting it at 2nd level. But you
Yes.
throw 4 if you're casting at 3rd level. Up to you.
3 rays, so it's at 2nd level.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3. Damn.
Each of those rays, you'll see them curve away. The wind's buffeting them, and none of them strike home.
Wow. That's pretty bum.
And you are Arcane Surge, so you won't be able to cast any spells besides cantrips till the end of your next turn.
Okay.
After that is Vega.
So now that Vega has cast what was absolutely their gut instinct, wanting to just produce fire because that's something their body has never been able to do before, she's starting to kind of get a grasp of maybe some of these other things she can do, and she can sense this ability to cast a much, much better version of a spell she already knows. So instead of casting Hold Person, she will try to cast Hold Monster.
Nice.
This is a level 5 spell.
All right.
I need a Wisdom saving throw.
All right. Yeah. You cast the incantation. And you feel incredible magic energy surge up within you. You reach out, perhaps, to try to hold this monster in place. Your energy, the magic, kind of surging out from you. And when it tries to hold this monster, it passes through.
Well, that's very disappointing. Fergal, how did you do what you just did? And Vega, realizing that tactic's not going to work, is going to once again step a bit away from this creature and is like shouting over to Fergal because whatever he just did was incredible.
When Vega steps from
Just call timeout.
when Vega steps from here outwards, the creature will lash out with a long tail made of lightning and thunder. 32 probably hits.
Jesus.
Is that what it does?
18 points of thunder damage.
All right, okay. Vega looks alive.
Nice. After that is Helianthus' turn.
I'm like standing right next to it, right?
Yes, you are adjacent to it.
I'm gonna poke it
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Oh.
with a finger of death. It's a deadly poke.
All right. It
Ooh.
would fail. You do see this beam of black energy strike out the creature. It does kind of wriggle at the last second, the storm kind of lifting its tail up most of the way out of the way, taking half of 54 points of damage of 27. But it does seem a little bit exhausted at that point. You'll see its movements begin to slow a little bit.
Nice.
Okay. And then I don't want to be here, but I am. So I guess I will stay here.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
After that, the creature will scream and not recharge.
That's good.
Helianthus has certainly earned its ire. It's going to slam at Helianthus with long appendages made of lightning and thunder.
It can certainly try.
23
Yeah.
for 25 points of damage. And then a natural 1, so it misses on a 17. Its tail kind of slamming down the stage next to you. You see a massive
I'm sorry,
crack.
a nat 1 is a 17?
Yeah, man. You see a massive crack appear in the stage. That part of the stone just completely caved in. as this blow lands there.
Oh, jeez.
It will then swoop over to, I guess, here. Screaming. Normally when a creature leaves your threat range, you'd get an opportunity attack. This thing is the air around it, and as it moves, it kind of, how to describe it? It has flyby, you see. So I'm going to describe it badly.
By.
That's right. Stella's next.
Okay. Well, changes what I was gonna do. Well, I'm still gonna shoot it full of stars.
Yeah.
I have those circling. Gonna send one flying, hurling towards it. Pew! Oh no, it's a
that one will
13 to
miss.
hit. Okay,
Unfortunate.
that was my bonus action, and then with my action, can I angle a cone of cold at it without hitting my friends?
Sure.
Like, I'm assuming it's like tall.
It is very tall.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna please make a save. The cold save.
It fails. 35 points of cold blasting it. You see huge kind of chunks of it kind of freeze up and fall to the ground and shatter. It does keen in frustration, maybe even a little bit of pain.
Woo!
Anything else for Stella?
I'm just gonna go to the edge and knock on the barrier. Are you trapped in here?
As you do that, you can hear the creature again scream in rage, and you feel that kind of signature crackling sensation. The hairs in the back of your neck, Stella, the feathers in the back of your neck begin to stand up a little bit, and your dexterity save as lightning strikes where you're standing.
Oh no!
Not Stella.
Dexterity. 20.
That is just good enough. So you will take half of 17, so only 8 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
Fergal is next.
All right, I'm gonna start off with a bonus action. I'm gonna use Arcane Surge to cast Mind Sliver on it. So yeah, DC 17 int save.
Mind sliver, right, yeah. It fails.
All right, it's gonna take 10 psychic damage, and it's gonna have minus a D4 to its next saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will cast. Where is it? There we go, 6th level Disintegrate. So DC 17, dex save minus a D4.
It's close. It's close. It does manage to just barely twist out of the way. A little bit slowed by that mind spike, but still good enough. The beam of green energy strikes out, and you will actually probably see that kind of break a huge chunk of the force enclosure on the other side.
Oh no!
With a wave of his hand, Zahid gestures, and the force enclosure reappears.
And I'm done.
All right. After that is Sammy.
All right. So she can't do any any spells, so she's gonna.
You can cast
first-
cantrips.
Yeah. So she will shoot. Not shoot. She's gonna ding ding, homie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know what that means, but for our audience, could you elaborate?
She is going to. She is going to cast Toll the Dead on.
Awesome, great. It has a 31 on its wisdom save.
Whoa.
You know?
What?
All right, fine, I guess. Bonus action. She's just gonna grumble, and then she's gonna walk this way, or she's gonna fly this way.
Hey.
So, don't cast anything with a wisdom save, I guess.
All right.
Noted.
After that is Vega, top of the order.
So Vega is still kind of scratching her head, kind of thinking about like how did Fergal disappear and all that, but isn't quite able to find the right spell within her mind, but does manage to kind of find disintegrate within her new magical consciousness, and will cast that. So it's a dexterity saving throw.
All right. Ooh. Powerful beam of force energy blasts towards it. It just barely manages to clear it. If it had a minus D4 still, it would fail inevitably. But I think a 17 is just good enough to get out of it. So maybe you'll see the disintegrate kind of blast through some of the clouds that are just next to it. But unfortunately, it seems intact.
And since this thing is starting to look a little bit more injured, Vega will use the Arcane Surge and cast Fireball again, because it felt so good that first time.
Right. There's an incredible feeling of power and release as the creature does fail to get out of the way of the fireball.
27 points, or 13 is half.
It does take 27, and you can see the clouds that make up its body. A hole appears kind of in the lower half of its body as the fireball kind of blasts those clouds away. That part does not reform, and the creature seems very, very injured and angry.
Good.
Me too, buddy.
Anything else for Vega?
Nope.
Okay. After that, the creature will it'll stay right there. Helianthus is next.
Okay, I'm gonna come up a little bit, and I am going to cast a sunbeam at it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that I can do multiple times. Yes.
Mhm.
I need a con save.
It does succeed on that one. Takes 13 points of radiant.
Yes.
All right. Looks really rough. The sunbeam kind of burning through some of the clouds.
And then I will. Question: would recast it, like doing another beam, does that count as casting a spell?
It does. Wait, no.
No.
Using it thereafter does not. I
Great.
wasn't clear
So
what you were asking.
I guess my question is, if I did the arcane surge, would I still be able to launch a sunbeam at it next turn?
Yes.
Great. Then I will do that, and I will blow it up with some fire.
All right. Seems like a fan
As well.
favorite.
I mean, might as well.
For sure. It does manage to get out of the way of most of it, but you will see the fire still take effect, and the winds around you begin to die down. The crackling of lightning kind of beginning to fade. Creature looks very bad.
Good. That's good.
Anything else for Helianthus?
Oh no, that's it.
All right. On its turn, you hear Zahid outside the enclosure shout something. Stella understands it as Huala il Korai, Heart of Lightning. Do your worst. And the storm kind of crackles with energy. It doesn't heal, but you do see power kind of surge into it. It will shift to the middle of the arena and again explode outwards in lightning.
No, go away! Go away!
We need a dex save from everybody as lightning showers the arena. From outside, it likely looks like one of those like quail balls, like with lightning arcing to the glass. I don't know what they're
yes.
Is
called.
there a world where I have inspiration for something?
Probably, but you do already have advantage.
Mhm.
Oh, I have advantage. That's good,
Yeah.
because I just rolled a 1.
Also, you're a halfling.
Oh, right! I don't roll ones! Never mind.
Unless you roll a second one.
I did
no.
roll a second one. Do I re-roll the 1 again?
No, you keep the second roll.
Oh no.
Well, I got a 6 plus something.
Wait, but was that with advantage?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. I rolled 2 1s and a 6.
Oh.
All right. People who got below a 20 on their best roll take 34 points of lightning. If you got a 15 or lower, you are stunned in place.
Oh, I'm stunned. I am so stunned.
Oh no.
As electricity courses through your body, robbing you of any ability to move or even think due
How
to the
do
pain.
con saves, concentration checks work?
If you're stunned, you just fail.
Oh, I lose my sunbeams? Dang it.
That is its turn. It still looks bad. Stella is next.
I'm stunned.
Oh, rough.
Do I have a save to get out, or is it just?
You do not, although you're not stunned after your turn, so you basically just get
okay.
out of it for free. Fergal is next.
Okay, so I can't cast a leveled spell, so I will use a cantrip. I'm gonna do Mind Sliver again because that worked really well. So make an int save.
It's a -3.
That's a fail. So 10 psychic damage.
Does a -3 fail? Does it?
It does. It does. by 20.
Nice.
And then
Wow.
with my bonus action, I'll throw one of my crown stars at it because that's not casting a
Alright.
spell.
You still have
Do I still-
disadvantage.
Okay. I will just roll 2d20s. And low is a 6, and I've got plus 9, so it's a 15. I think that
Not
misses.
quite. Arcs towards the creature, but at the last second, the wind manages to divert it enough.
Dang
Okay.
it.
Cool. Then that's my turn. Yeah.
Alright. After your turn, it will kind of its head whips around towards Fergal. One of its eyes is blackened. You see that part of the smoke cloud kind of just scorched, I guess. But it will let loose with lightning against Fergal. Actually, no, it won't. It will let loose a blast of wind. So Helianthus and Fergal, a huge the creature like flaps its many wings in synchronization, and the air gushes forth, blasting Helianthus and Fergal away from the creature. We need dexterity saving throws.
I automatically fail.
That's true.
Oh no.
Save. Oh, I fail.
Okay. So you're both blasted 60 feet in that direction, which would have Helianthus landing squarely in the force field.
Oh, I'm sure that feels great.
Well, so you take thunder damage when it hits, so you would go down in that, and then you take one failed death save as you hit the barrier.
Great.
Fergal, I think you
Oh, I
just
haven't
take,
rolled these in a while.
let's see, it's
I'm not supposed to die at school. Ah!
not dead yet.
10. So Fergal takes 21 points of thunder damage and is similarly launched. He'll take 1d6 as you impact the enclosure,
Okay.
which is just 3 more.
24 total.
That's all that happens there.
Am I still stunned while unconscious?
Not exactly. one supersedes the other, sort of. Sammy is next.
Okay. She is going to Mega Cast Blight at 9th level.
Nice.
Woo!
Okay.
At 9th level. Wow, that's upsetting.
54 points.
Ooh.
I mean,
Well, you add it together, but still.
Does it only say 8d8?
so it's right. It's 88 there. And then you look at the higher level cast, adding 21.
Okay.
So the creature does seem to resist it. Nonetheless, that is enough damage after the success to kill it. What happens?
At this point, Sammy is just screaming very angrily, and she's like, "This thing sucks! Why is it so large? Why is it still hitting me when I'm 40 feet away from it?" And she just points, and then there's a cloud of stink. It doesn't actually stink, but it's just a really, really foggy mist that succumbs it, and it falls.
Sure. The creature begins to fall apart. Lightning kind of crackling and then breaking off of it, kind of sparking in various directions. You see its wings begin to fall off and dissipate into nothing. The storm recedes. When with one last scream, the creature is no more. In the moment afterwards, you hear Zahid clear his throat. He says, "That was far better than I thought it would be. I barely felt drowsy at all." He snaps his
Thanks.
fingers, and you all appear outside the wall in your seats.
Am I alive again?
No, you kind of land with a thump.
Cure wounds. I cast Cure wounds.
Do I need to? Are we good?
You actually can cast Cure Wounds because all that power that you felt within you. Oh, what's up with the audio?
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Are you
Oh,
okay?
no.
What's up with the audio?
Hello.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
God,
loud.
Really
loud.
loud.
Oh, weird. Well,
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
I guess I'm glad it's okay now. Anyway, as you land outside, you do feel all that power leave you, and there's this awful moment of just sickening realization that your regular form is missing something that you never knew before, but now that it's gone, it just feels like it was nice to have all that power. But
Bella's also gonna lunge over and cure wounds on Helianthus.
nice, yeah, and Helianthus will come too. The students around you kind of gasp, and they'll also rush to your aid, kind of propping Helianthus' head up and tending to her. One of the Silver Quill students on the other side will shout, "This is not humane, Lord Zahid." And he turns and says, "Humane? At what point did you think Lord Zahid intended to be humane?
I'm gonna take this up with the administration.
You fool!"
Does he always refer to himself in the third person?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's exhausting.
Wow.
Also, this is a terrible approximation of a real fight. You don't go in not knowing how to use the sword you brought.
He turns
And I
and
couldn't-
says, "The unexpected nature of the power, I imagine, is the same thing you'll feel once you've properly earned it. After all, humanoids can't possibly truly understand the might of the elements. You'll never truly own the power you could collect."
You seem to get the hang of it.
We own that elemental.
Barely. And one I remember went down. Your marks are middling at best. But you pass. Take solace in the knowledge you will not flunk out of Strixhaven this year on my account. And the rest of the tests that day proceed pretty much as expected. Most groups do significantly worse than you. A few of them do attempt to replicate Fergal's time stop maneuver. One of the Quandrix students does pull it off pretty well. The rest of them that attempt it kind of emerge from the time stop looking bewildered and facing the wrong direction, with a fireball going off in completely the wrong place. But about half the students pass, and Lord Zed tells the rest they'll have to engage in remedial studies over the course of the summer.
If anyone wants to learn how a real fight goes, let's hang out during the summer.
Stella's hands are still shaking. Is this what they call, like, drunk with power? Is this what it feels like to be drunk?
Well, we should go to the Bow's End and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. You can depart from your most difficult second year final with knowledge that you passed despite Lord Zahid's best efforts.
That was kind of exhilarating.
I will be taking this up with administration.
He didn't seem unbiased, did he? He didn't seem, fair exactly.
He totally buffed that thing in mid-fight. I think he particularly hates us. Yeah.
Maybe we're just too good.
Or that.
Just
We already have one kill count. If you already have one kill count, seems like it'd be.
no, it's not a you, it's a we. Remember, if you hang out with us, everything applies to everyone.
Our murder is
Yeah,
your
I
murder.
killed Lacrimore.
And back at the ruins, we kind of did a number on those golems,
They don't count. They're not people.
but they
No.
fight. They
They don't have souls to exterminate. They're just kind of things that move. It's fine. Those ones, it's completely ethical.
Well, we only killed
Yeah.
that lady in self-defense because we had to. That was ethical, wasn't it?
She was killing all our friends.
That's true.
sometimes you do what you must because you're there and you can.
We had to kill her though. Like, couldn't we have brought her in alive and interrogated her to figure out why she was trying to murder everybody by making plants come alive?
Maybe
I was
we'll learn
unconscious
that.
at the time.
You know, that probably would have been a better idea.
That's
Now
a
that I
year
think
3
about it.
thing, for sure. Year
Yes.
3. Take hostages.
Right.
But you're right. I'll remember that for next time.
So after your finals are over, you guys can head to the Bow's End. A lot of students here are, Applied Arcane Arts is a general studies course that is mandatory for all second years. So a lot of the folks in here look shell-shocked. Some of them are looking at their hands and just kind of flexing them with this very like spacey expression on their face. You see them kind of gesture blankly when nothing happens. Some of them are just kind of sitting at tables, some of them in pairs, holding each other's shoulders and just murmuring to each other, it's okay, it's fine, it's over, we're okay, nothing happened, we're fine, everything's fine, we passed, right, we passed. And some of them are bemoaning that they'll all be in remedial studies. Your friend at the bar, the Owlin there, has long since noted the atmosphere at the end of year 2. It is quietly serving everyone free shots of Dragonfire whiskey. To take the edge off, he says. He's not pushing it, he's just offering to everyone.
Yeah.
What a pal.
I'll be starting a petition to get this professor fired for horrible, unethical teaching practices.
I think that's what he wants, honestly. He doesn't like his job very much.
So
Oh,
he
that's
should
right.
leave.
If more
Maybe we
tests
shouldn't.
went like that, I'd like it a lot more. Probably would have went to more classes.
I
Could
mean,
take his class again.
Not a third time. I don't know what they'll change it up for the third time.
At least it was something fresh for you.
Did you want to invite anybody in particular to your table at the Bozent?
Is Xanther around? We should hang out with him. We haven't seen him in a while.
He is, yeah. This is the first time you've ever seen Xanther less than radiant. He comes over and he's like, hey guys, Strixhaven's pretty great, right? It's pretty great. Love this school, it's awesome.
You know, I made you a present.
Yeah.
This seems like a good time to give it to you. You look like you could use a pick-me-up.
I
And I'm
kind of
just
could.
gonna hand in my magic bag from art class.
Wait,
What-
don't you have to
what's-
give that back?
What's this?
Well, you gotta open it and then give me the bag back
Oh.
because I have to give it to the professor. But you'll see. Just
He like reaches into the bag, literally sticks his tongue out as he's reaching around there, and pulls out at long last like the stalk and just like pulls out. It keeps on coming out, and his eyes keep on getting wider and wider as it keeps on coming out. He says, "Well, this is amazing. What is it?"
well, you'll see when it's all the way out.
Okay. And he keeps on pulling it, like pulling it. Somebody has to put the bag on the ground and pull it all the way up. He is tall enough to get out of the bag, but just barely.
He's Prismari too. Shouldn't he recognize a Mizimorph?
Yeah, but this is like already magicked into something else.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and just to be clear, the Mizimorph doesn't become the thing. It's just an aid to get there. So it's like a visual
Oh,
inspiration.
gotcha.
You make
Yeah,
the thing
cool.
out of elemental energy in a sheath. So he pulls it out. He says, "Whoa! It's a sunflower, and it grows. That's so crazy. How did you do this?"
I made it in art class.
Wow! I just tried to make a lion. It didn't go so good. My lion kind of just splatted on the ground and then disintegrated.
Well, we can work on that. I'm sure it'll be fine.
But no, this is great. That's so cool. Yeah, I have to take Applied Arcane Arts over again. Did you guys fail too?
Almost.
No,
we came
but
very close.
I did go unconscious.
We barely passed.
Oh, that's okay, Helianthus. Look, I also went unconscious. It didn't even take like more than 6 seconds. I just kind of fell over.
Buddy.
I always
Give him a
thought I was pretty
pat on
tough,
the-
but that was a whole new level.
Just kind of give him a pat on the, side. It's probably what I can reach. So, it's okay. We're not all good at everything.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Ah.
That's what school is for, so we can learn and be better at stuff.
And he brightens up a little bit. You see his hair like literally like brighten, ignites a little bit. And he says, it was really cool being able to just like throw fire around. I got to do that one time before I lost consciousness. That was really fun.
So there you go. Bright sides.
Yeah, it was really bright. It was like, really. Someday I'm gonna do that again. Anybody else you guys want to invite to your table?
Are the people in the bar now the only people we can invite over?
No, you could have stopped by anywhere or even sent invites out.
Okay, cool. I wanted to talk to Mina Lee.
Oh, Mina is certainly available. She is perhaps one of the only second years who does not look shell shocked. She looks just as composed as always. Classic Mina.
Wasn't she a third year, or am I?
You're right. She is a third year, so it would make sense.
Yeah.
Come on. Roll 20s. No, there's not two Minas. Come on, roll 20. All right, she strides over and says, "Wow, I really, I heard that was pretty rough. Your last final there."
It
Oh,
was.
okay.
Yeah, I came out of it all right. It was not what I expected going in. I expected more of a, written test, not. Now you're an archmage. Fight this elder elemental, but you gotta roll with the punches.
I understand Lord Zahid's methods are very unorthodox, but I can't imagine better training for fighting with magic than fighting with magic. So at least you got some good experience out of it.
I think so. It was certainly not boring, that's for sure.
Hey, Sammy, how was Arcane Arts round 2?
She like shrugs, but first she like makes room on this table, even if there isn't any. She's like, "Here, come on, just come on, take a seat."
Who are those people that push like 3 tables together? And then
Yeah.
And she says, "I actually wrote notes and stuff, and I was talking to like Yoke and Natalia and Bertram about all that stuff, and then nope, we're all gonna just shoot magic at a giant cloud."
Well, if it makes you feel better, your notes probably did a great job cementing that information in your mind, so it wasn't a waste of time.
It was actually way cooler than the first exam. I want to do that again.
Well, okay. I'm sure you'll find a way, Sammy. You've always had a certain power to you.
She like beams.
Well, there was something I wanted to ask you about, Mina.
Oh.
So this was the end of our second year, and we're going on to the year 3. And from what I've heard from everybody, you're at the top of the class for year 3.
Well, I mean, I'm up there, yeah.
And so I wanted your advice. I was thinking about going into trying to do 2 schools, and I wanted to see, have you ever thought of that?
Well, my counselor's asked me many times if I want to do that, and the answer is that it's up to you. If you want to spend a lot more of your time studying and doing extra tests and, being fully tasked and stressed all the time, for a great result of gaining double the knowledge and double the prestige and double the qualifications for your future, then of course you should do it. I think it would be a great fit for you, Fergal.
Oh, thank you. But it's not something you would want to do for yourself.
Oh, no, I enjoy just having friends all over campus far too much.
That has its benefits too.
For me, Strixhaven is about the people. I came here to meet people from all over the place, to learn all about people and places far and wide. I didn't really come here to study.
But you're so good at it anyways.
Well, we all have talents.
Speaking of meeting people, I have something I'd really like to talk to you about. It's something I really found that was super cool. I don't know if you saw me falling into a hole like a week ago or something.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, I've got some stories. I think you'll really like them.
Oh?
And then she like just leans in, whispers what happened. A little bit, just a little peek. Just I did the thing. I met Velomachus.
Mina gets a really funny expression on her face. She says, "Really? And how was Velomachus for you?"
No, Sammy wouldn't even care about that expression. She was just like, less obfuscating than my patron, at least. She's huge.
I imagine she would be.
Gigantic.
Mina has a smile on her face, doesn't say much, and she says, "That's really amazing that you met one of the founding dragons. I can't imagine what that would be like, but you must have gained incredible insight into this world and the university. You should make sure to remember what you learned there. Maybe write it down."
Of course, I wrote it down and then I like recorded it on some magic mouth stones, and so whenever I pass by them, they'll just yell at me whatever she told me, because she had a lot to say and yet so little.
Oh, that sounds awful, though.
The magic mouth stones yelling at me, or the her?
Oh, just the magic mouths, of course. The wisdom of Velomachus would be invaluable, and I would love to hear it a number of times. Just being yelled at by magic mouths all the time just sounds horrible. Of course.
Me too. I'd be interested too.
Hey,
Well, we'll have to head out. We'll have to let's have a nice time, like late night in the tavern. Let's do that, and a few more of that fireball whiskey.
Okay.
A few more shots of those.
I'm not busy. Yeah, anybody else you'd like to invite to your already massive table at the Bow's End?
We are the worst patrons.
We'll give a good tip.
All right. So at a certain point, the question goes around. I think it's Aurora who asks. So, semester's over. We all have a big summer ahead of us before we start our third year. I've heard that third year is where you really start to, encounter challenges. Like Haven is challenging at first, but then in third year they really ramp it up, start to prepare you for a future as a mage scholar. What are you all going to do this summer to prepare, or not prepare? I'm not telling you how to live your lives.
Well, I was thinking about joining another school if I can. I have really enjoyed my time at the Dragon's Guard Historical Society, and I liked our time in those ruins, Sammy. And so I think I'm going to try to join Lorehold. And if I do, I'm planning on spending the summer taking whatever year 1 and 2 classes I can to try to catch up. I took 1 year 2 class this year, but try to get caught up for year 3.
She lights up. She's like, I can help you. My
I would
notes
love
aren't really
that.
all tangible. They're more just kind of instructions on how to not die in ruins that sometimes can pertain to some of my classes.
No, that's
it
great
works
though.
out.
I would not want to die in a ruin.
Egan's insufferable, but I also might be able to ask him to spare some time passing on some of his notes.
Absolutely.
He owes me one.
Oh, and we can talk to Natalia and Bertram.
Oh, and my friend Rampart too.
Would Sammy have had like any like knowledge of Rampart? I know like they're a year below technically.
If you attended last year's big game, or honestly any Mage Tower games at all in the last couple of years, you would have seen Rampart in action, probably.
I think she then just knows of them, but she's usually not on campus.
Right. But so you weren't inviting. My bad. You're talking about
Oh, yeah, but yeah, in the future, I do want to talk to them about that.
for sure. So Aurora will kind of direct the conversation and say, okay, well, so Fergal wants to join Lorehold also, which, Fergal, that's going to be really difficult. You don't have much overlap there. Typically, when people double college, they go with, Witherbloom and Quandrix, or Witherbloom and Silverquill.
I know, but I was doing some red magic the other day, and it worked pretty well.
Well, I believe in you, but just be ready, okay?
Also, they have spirits, and spirits are like the undead.
Right. So anyway, Stella, what are your plans for the summer?
Well, I'm gonna go camping with Guilmy and learn what is edible in the Sedgemoor, and how not to die. That sounds like a lot of fun. But afterwards, I don't know. I think I'll stay around campus. Maybe join another club or something. I'm not sure yet.
Sammy, what are your summer plans?
Well, I'm not really the camping type unless there's some kind of cave inside there to be explored or some kind of weird brick with runes on it. I was thinking of trying to talk to Dean Clark again about leaving campus. I mean, what are your plans, Mina? I want to know. Like, yeah. Are you free that summer?
Oh, I'm traveling.
Cool. That's super fun. Glad you're gonna have a good time. I hope.
Yeah, I heard about this really fascinating place. It's really far away and hard to get to, but it has just the most beautiful landscapes. Really want to see it. It's called Zendikar.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I found it in a book. Long time ago.
And out of character, does the campus does the school facilitate like cross-planar?
Not exactly. Like, you can get grants to do it, but it's pretty difficult. Unclear how she's planning to accomplish that. It's not a normal thing for sure.
So
Okay.
Burgle goes like pale and says, I knew someone who came from Zendikar. And he gets up and leaves and gets another drink.
What are your plans, Lorene? Lorene kind of shuffles a little bit and says, I don't know. What are your plans, Vega?
I mean, I'm sure you've got something going on.
Well, yeah, I've got lots of studying to do, and of course I gotta go visit home. But I've got plenty of free time also.
Maybe you should come on the camping trip. I'll be joining Stella for the first part of break, learning how to really survive out in a place that's truly dangerous. Or, well, that can be anyways.
In the Sedgemoor?
Yes.
Where those plants attacked us?
Lots of other things attack there. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be with Guillaume.
Right. I would love to come along. I would love to. Yep. I will. Yeah, I can. That sounds like fun.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. Like the trip of a lifetime.
All right, well, make sure to bring that dragon chess game with you so you can teach me how to play while we're out in the swamp.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time for playing dragon chess in the swamp because it'll be totally safe and nothing bad will happen. I can't
And
wait.
if it does, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you sure about this?
100%.
Guillaume will keep you safe, and so will I. So no need to worry. And hey, Stella's coming too, and Vega kind of looks at the rest of the group. Who else? No? All right,
Sammy
well,
like
me-
shrugs.
No, well, you all are going camping in a place that could kill you. The cheer squad is having a summer retreat to prepare for next year's games.
Ooh. Where's the retreat
You-
at? Is it in the?
Well, it's just here,
Camping?
but like, you know, safe, where we're not going to die.
I mean, you could come cheer us on in the swamp.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. No, that's
Vega,
fair.
Vega, after the swamp camping, do you want to do Fairy Gate?
Okay, I was going to say I needed to go back to the cathedral because I've actually learned a lot this semester that will help me with some things I very much need to do there. But if we can get that professor to waive the requirement to take the class to go to the Fire Gale, then I would very much like
You
to
don't
do that.
even know what it's actually called.
The icicle.
No.
It's an artistic interpretation. Nothing on that campus has names. There's like 3 whole names.
Yeah, and that's one of them.
And it's called the Stormsicle. The
It's the big whoosh.
yes.
Still not what it's called.
Probably Stormsickle's in there.
And I would like to fight one.
Right. And with that, the evening goes on. Lots of drinks are poured. Plenty of wonderful snacks are had, and talk of the future is everywhere. You hear people talking about their dreams, their plans, and how they're going to use this summer to better themselves and others. Before long, it is far too late. You all will filter out of the Bow's End and head on your respective ways. Many of you probably planning for that camping trip. And that will be our session for tonight. We will pick up next time with you guys having done your summer break. We'll talk about what happened over the summer and jump into year 3, which promises to be a massive step up in terms of challenge, complexity, and overall Strixhaveniness. So thank you all for tuning in. I've been Marco, Dungeon Master of this game. This has been Curriculum of Wonder. We stream this every other Thursday right here on my channel from 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific. We also stream We Could Be Gods, which is the name we've given our playthrough of a Divinity Original Sin 2 campaign. Much of the same thing happened in that campaign, actually, as this game. We bumble around being a little bit silly, and then things explode, and we usually are okay at the end sometimes. Sometimes
Talk
not.
to puppies.
We talked to puppies, yeah. Oh,
I think it's
I messed it up.
POS.
We Could Be Gods. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for me.
I am Sarah. I've had the pleasure of playing Vega, and I've got a redacted project that's been a secret for a while. It's kind of been delayed a bit, but in about 2 weeks, I'll finally be able to start talking about it. So very excited for that to happen. Until then, I will see you 2 weeks from now here playing more Vega with these wonderful folks. So next up.
I have been Andy. I have been playing Now Not a Flunky. 3rd year. Let's go. We made it. I don't exist anywhere. I just sometimes pop up on the screen.
I've seen you in the world. Anyway, I'm Francis. I've been playing Fergal, and having a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm in the Divinity game, and you can find me on Twitter if you want. You can, whatever. This is the only like role-playing game I'm streaming, but I'm having a blast. So yeah, kick that over to Sam, whichever, or Andrea.
Oh, that
whoever's
was right. The first one was right. Oh, here, I want to bump heads with you.
Great.
Anyway, I'm Sam. And it's been super fun playing Stella. I'll be here again next week. Trying to be a god. And the week after that, being more Stella. The usual good stuff.
Oh, hi, I'm Andrea. I've been playing Helianthus, which has been super fun. If you like D&D or tabletop games and you need some really cool, unique dice, you can check me out on sunflowerdice.com or instagram.com/sunflower.dice. I have a giveaway that's ending tomorrow. If you want a chance to win some free dice, you should definitely check out the Instagram. It's really cool. And then you can also come hang out with me on Sunday on Twitch at Shadowed Lady Sif, where we are playing a Sims 4 Legacy Challenge and trying to go to space.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining, folks. If you did like what you saw here tonight, go ahead and throw us a follow. Also, look on YouTube. The Marconomicon is the same name there. VODs are going up there. We're editing them now, so they're a little bit fancy. We've got less dead time. We even had some highlights going up, so look for that and more of that to come in the weeks following. But that's it for tonight. Thanks for joining in, and take care.
Bye.